Welcome back, fellow scrubs. As I clear my throat so I don't sound really weird. I'm Mark the Wiz, your host of the Game Dev Scrubs, working on Pocket Fighter EX today. And Pocket Fighter EX is not endorsed or supported or affiliated with Capcom or SNK. It is a community-based game that is just for the community, and I don't think the title of the song thing ain't working, so hold on. And it should be working now. Alright, we're up. Uh-oh, voice crack stream? Uh-oh, are we got problems? Is it really bad? God damn it. Was it really bad? Or are you just scrolling over? Audio's fine, was just referring to the opening lines. Okay. Okay, fine, good. Jeez, you had me worried there for a second. Hold on. Speaking of which, I gotta redo my microphone position here. Alright. You're killing me, because sometimes the audio goes nuts. So, hello and welcome everybody. We're gonna be working on putting this in the game today. I do have a couple other small updates to go through. How's the dev going? Well, you're about to find out. So our mission today is primarily to get this into the game, get the hitboxes and all that stuff, and see how it works. I only capo when I'm not serious? Yeah, well, hey, it could still be a joke because of how many times it actually happens. The other thing I wanted to go over was a couple of changes I made since last week that I haven't talked about on stream, because I haven't streamed in at least this game in a week. There's a couple things. One, the performance of the game is substantially better. I did a lot of optimizations. A lot of those were pretty much editor things that I cut down on, but the flickering and everything is pretty stable and consistent, and everything's a lot smoother now. So if you're watching this in 60 FPS, which is the default on Twitch and YouTube, then it should look substantially better. And fixing all the performance issues means that like the flashes are timing on correct times and stuff. It's not skipping as many frames, so you'll actually get to see the kind of the full flashiness of the game, even though it's in the editor that we work on here. So the other thing that I mentioned, on Discord, it has to do with double wall bounce kind of thing. Come on. Like that. Previously, well, that's always been the case. You won't get a double wall bounce, because what you need to do is you need to have a max cancel somewhere in the middle. Gotta get closer. Gotta actually pull it off. Okay. See, then you can get the 2 wall bounces if you have a max cancel somewhere in the combo. It refreshes your wall bounce count, it refreshes your ground bounce count, and it resets your juggle. So it's a true combo extender. Otherwise, they just get hit again and they don't bounce, and they have like a lower trajectory there, right? But previously, that lower trajectory was not there. They had the same animation and they traveled the same distance. So they would just not hit the wall. But it wasn't so much a problem then, because back then, see how Terry doesn't go so far? But Terry goes a lot farther. He bounces a lot farther back. It kind of tracks where Ryu's position is and brings him back to Ryu, right? So that wasn't there before. So if you did a point blank, if you did a point blank wall bounce, they would fly over your head and they would end up like over here. So it didn't look too strange. with the distances of that stuff, because you wouldn't want to do a wall bounce when you're like near the wall anyway. So it was never an issue where you would have strange animations. The spacing just didn't really allow for that to happen in a way that looked kind of strange. But since then, we changed that, and then all of a sudden you could get some weird stuff happening. And I can actually show you what that looks like, I believe, if I undo the setting here. Excuse me. So what I did is I added an additional... Oh, is this not it? Oh, let's show you. We need to go to the Jodan. So I added this thing here that says if you use this move, if this move hits twice in a combo, then use a different set of properties for it. So I'm going to uncheck that, and you'll see what it looked like before. See, doesn't that look weird? Because it won't allow the second wall bounce to happen, so it just kind of cancels the wall bounce from happening. But all the trajectory and the animation are the same. And it looks really weird, and the worst part about it is that when you do that, if I can get it close enough, all the juggle properties are also applied. So you can just confirm into whatever you want, and you have like even more time to do it, which is kind of antithetical. Antithetical? It's not what I intended. We'll put it that way. It's not what's supposed to happen there. The second bounce is supposed to be kind of useless in most ways, but it ends up being more useful in some situations because it gives them more time to be hit. Yeah, it would need some kind of wall splat and them to fall down or whatever, but if they hit the wall, if it so happens that they hit the wall and you see some kind of effect and they stop moving, you're gonna think you're gonna be able to hit them again. So the solution I came up with is change the animation to one that doesn't look the same and make sure that they fall very quickly. So it's obviously doing something different, right? And then you don't have to worry about the wall splat because they fall down so quickly. It's almost like you used a different kind of move anyway. And so visually there's that big distinction there, and it becomes very clear that, oh, the wall bounce didn't happen because something's different about that second hit. Something very obviously visually different about that second hit. So that's what I came up with. Now, it's not perfect. If it only works if you use the same move twice. But if you had two different moves that wall bounce, they would both be able to go twice before you had to use a max. So I'm gonna have to work on that and try to come up with different conditions. Yeah, see? It's obviously noticeable there. It's like, oh, no, okay, the second hit doesn't really count. Like, you can obviously tell something's different about it. Because if you were to belt someone like that, that's what you expected, right? So it kind of makes a very implicit difference just through animation. But yeah, if you have two wall bounce moves, they won't detect properly yet. No one has that. Everybody only has one. But there could be other characters that might be able to do two different moves that wall bounce at some point, or ground bounce, or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to have to change the system to be able to detect the wall bounce itself as a condition. Because right now it's just, did this move hit twice? If so, do a different move, use different properties on this move instead. So the problem's solved for now, but if a character appears where they have different, two different animations that do the wall bounce, then it's not going to work. So, with that out of the way, I guess we'll just get to our main mission today, which is to put this in the game. And that's going to, basically we have to export the sprites, configure them, format them, and then put them into the engine. So we'll just get right into it. We only need these first 4 frames we don't need. This is just a standing frame, and these frames actually already exist from the existing heavy kick that we have. And actually, let me pull up Terry just so we can see that, what it's replacing. And we'll get, I'll get Buken. How about Buken? And we'll head to, yeah, we'll head to Neo Geo World. That's fine. Very city-like kind of stage. Something I would expect Ken and Terry to be part of. Okay, so this move here is the one I don't like it. It looks dumb. Really don't like it. It looks weird and weak. That's the KOF. I'm not sure what Fatal Fury it's from, if it is at all. But KOF 98 had this attack, and it just, I don't know. It just kind of looks like a dollar store donkey kick, and it doesn't do anything super interesting. So, just based on visuals alone, I was like, man, you know what? We're gonna redo it. I don't think there's any reason not to. Other than the time it takes to do it, of course, but, you know, I want to make it look good, so that's that. Alright, so first thing, we need to export a sprite sheet. And, yeah, we can export it right here. It looks like I already have a spot for it. Okay, so let's see. We don't need the first 4 frames. We'll cut those out after the fact. And then we need these 4 frames, and not the last one, because that's just a standing pose. So, we're going to say open sprite sheet once we've exported it. And I think everything else looks okay. So, now we do have anchors on, so we can get an idea of where the positioning needs to be for the sprites, but we will turn those on. What are we up to? We're putting the kick animation in the game. Alright, so let's get these, actually let's do them on the line here. It'll be a little easier to get them in the proper spot here. Remember, we want to make sure that they are at least 2 pixels away from each other. I mean, you want it to really just be 2. Because, oh wait, no, where's that last frame? Did I not have it? Or maybe it didn't export that last frame. Or did I already delete it? I don't know. Alright, look. I've got memory problems, alright? I'm just gonna kind of forget things. Can't wait till I'm really old and have more memory problems than I do now. I won't know where the hell I am. I deleted the last frame? Oh, okay. See, there you go. I don't even remember. And that's good. Okay. I didn't need that one, but we do need this one. It looks similar, but it's an important step. Okay, so they're gonna be 1 pixel away from the border, 2 pixels away from each other. And then we're just gonna save this. We want to load the generic black and white palette. And then we want to save in sheets. We'll do the anchored one first. Were they all GIFs? They're all GIFs. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. Whether it has a palette built into the format itself, Unity doesn't matter, or doesn't care. It actually undoes all that anyway. So, Terry Heavy Kick, we're gonna say Heavy Kick V2. I think that'd be a decent name. I'll do lowercase. Again, the name itself doesn't really matter, but it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna open that in the folder. We're gonna open Unity. And let's turn the game off. Let's go to Terry's folder here. Sprites. And drag them in. There you go. No filter. We do have multiple sprites, 10 pixels per unit, full rect, no geometry. We don't use sprite geometry to do anything. And no filter, or no compression. I think that's all the stuff we usually have. We'll get to the anchor in a minute. I'm just trying to get the frames here. Okay. And we want to bump it up one. I can't even see the anchor color, it's kind of funny. Probably really light. Alright, let's apply this before we screw something up. Oh yeah, there it is. Very hard to see, but there's the anchor pixel. And we always, well, you don't have to necessarily pick the top left to do it, but I try to consistently use the top left as the anchor. The point is that you want it to be consistent. Whether you align it to the top left or the top right doesn't really matter. You just want to use it as a consistent point of reference. And that will help you shape your game. Well, it'll help you implement your animations a bit more consistently without having to worry about adding or subtracting a pixel when you sequence things. I suppose that's the more accurate way to say that. Okay, so now we got it in as sprites. But what we're gonna do, we don't need those anchors anymore. So those were easy to get rid of because they were all along the bottom and they weren't covering anything. So we're gonna put it in the non-anchored. I'm gonna put it in the non-anchored area because that's the non-anchored one. And to avoid having to re-import all that stuff, the trick here, as always, open up the Sprite folder, Unity's version of the Sprite folder, in here, and just paste the file in here and replace it. And then Unity won't attempt to re-import it as though it's a new file. And then you get everything here, but there's no anchors anymore. It does a nice little replacement. Okay, this is going pretty smooth so far. So, I guess now the real fun part comes in where we get to sequence it. Now turn off the automatic maximizer. We are going to want to see a lot of the stuff here. Okay, let's resize the window, get a little bit better of a view here. So we're gonna go to Terry, and we're gonna look, I think we call it standing heavy kick? No, we don't, but we're going to. What did I just call it? Heavy kick? Heavy kick, yeah, okay. Okay. We're gonna make a new animation. We have to go to... yeah, it's the track you like, right? Yeah, I like it. Here. There you go. While I find this file. I'm lost in my own files here. Oh, yeah, right. Game, fighters. Fighters again. Terry. Then, animation. Unique. Now, unique means it's just not one that everybody shares. Actually, technically everybody has a standing heavy kick, but people have some characters have different types of animations for their, you know, like 2 hits, and once that might change animation. Either way, it's a move, so it goes here. So we want standing, heavy, kick, and I'm going to put V2 on here just to note so we don't get confused between the two. Then we have to change animation registry. Question from chat. Do you mostly play test with a controller or on keyboard? Both, actually. I force myself to use both, or all 3 of it. Arcade stick, a standard controller, usually like an Xbox 360, something like that. Something with an analog stick. And then I use something with a D-pad, and then I'll use the keyboard. So I guess that's 4 controller types. And I mostly, if I were to play it, like seriously play test it, I'd play it on stick. But I use the controller because it's very easy, like it's very small. I don't have to sit it on my lap or anything, and I can, on stream, I mean, most of the time I just use the controller because it's easier to manage. So I'm best at the game with stick and controller. Not quite so on keyboard. I'm not too great about it. And I mean, I can do some stuff. I can do some combos. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can do a little bit on keyboard. But definitely not as practiced as the other stuff. Oh, that would've... Well, that wouldn't have hit it. Hey, I got that. How about that? That's not too shabby. But yeah, I frequently try other controllers and keyboard and all that. I try to switch it up so that whenever I make a gameplay change, I can see how it affects other controller users. Because something that works very easily on arcade stick may not work very well on like a gamepad or on keyboard. The keyboards and arcade sticks are actually pretty close in terms of functionality. But usually you get the divide when you get a gamepad. Because like you don't have any problem on the keyboard hitting heavy punch and light kick together. But on a gamepad, a typical configuration, like that's the top and bottom face buttons at the same time. How do you hit that reliably? And it's very hard. So it gives me that perspective to maybe don't do that. It maybe make the pad player's life a little easier and don't do controls that are like that. And sure they can. Hey, Mr. Shine 164. Thank you very much for that follow. So you have, it keeps me sort of aware of what is easy to do on what controllers, and I try to avoid things that are very difficult to do on certain types of controllers, without compromising, of course, that. I mean, you could set it like a grab button, or a 2 punches button, or whatever, you know, the wonky command is, but you shouldn't have to. You should be able to comfortably control the game without having to have those extra functionality buttons. So that helps keep me in line with that. Good question, by the way. Alright, we've got crouching, no, standing. Do we have a standing? Or is it just heavy kicking? Yeah, it's just, okay, that's fine. So we're going to say heavy kick resolves to standing heavy kick V2. So a quick way to change those up. And then, well, we don't have a hitbox file yet, but we will. Well, for the ease of it, we are in pairs, right? And heavy kick, crouching air, heavy kick, normal heavy kick. We're going to copy this, and we're going to create a new hitbox file. hit system? Hitbox. Yeah. Heavy, kick, V2. And paste. It might be. It might be. Who is that? Who do you think that is? Refresh the labels here. There we go. Now we can see everything. And so I can kind of just reuse a lot of the boxes that we already have, and then I'll reorganize and trim things down as necessary. Okay. So the next thing we have to do is under the moves, we've got heavy kick. Or is it this one called standing? This one's called standing heavy kick. I'm not too consistent sometimes. Okay, we want to assign it hitbox data. Some of the animations automatically assign it, but I'm transitioning to where I can assign it an animation and a hitbox combination differently. So I can reuse animations with different hitboxes. So heavy kick V2. It is a standing animation. We're all set to actually start animating the thing itself. Actually, I'm just going to borrow this. So, heavy, or we call it standing heavy kick. Standing heavy kick. Okay. We're going to need more than 2 hitboxes, but this just kind of gets us started off here. You can't remember his name! Really? That's kind of fun, actually. Okay. Oh, yeah, one thing... Well, you know what? We'll worry about that later. I was going to say, one thing we want to know is the timing that the original one had, but we'll worry about that later. That's fine. Parry heavy kick 0. Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna plant the frames down here. Okay, we don't need that. Is it 1? Oh, I want from 1 to 3. That's and that's 2. Okay, and then here's where we use our V2. There, and that should do it. And we'll copy this last one because we need to extend that frame. Now, obviously, it looks weird and it's way too close and all that, but we'll fix that. So we want to look at heavy kick. Time for it to actually hit is 12 frames. So let's keep that in mind. What do you want? The dog's here. What do you want? What are you hiding under the desk for? Or you just want attention? What are you doing? You smell. Go see Amber. Go smell Amber up. You smell really bad. Oh, I used, did I do that in this one? I did not. But I did in... But I did in the old one, I used this as a starting frame. Actually, let's just copy this then. Where is it? Okay. There we go. Yeah, that makes a nice string. Okay, and our action point is going to hit on 12, which means that it is all the way out here. Get decent timing. Okay, so what's missing now is the lead up to it. And before we get to that, I'm going to push Ken forward so that he's not in the way of the full animation. So we got to walk forward. Now let's see what we got here. Now, so he moves. "14 pixels? Wow. Okay. He moves 14 pixels from there to there? Well, that's something, huh? Oh, now it's the code. We're at 0. And then 14 translates to 1.4 in game. And then from there, we'll just do this straight up and then we'll adjust it if we need to. And this moves 10. So +1, man, you're already at 2.4, okay. But yeah, you see how he steps in. And then from here, I want to get. And he moves 2 pixels. So this is going to be 2.4 to 2.6. That doesn't look right. Why doesn't it? What's our body position? Oh, you know why it's not right? Because these sprites have a different anchor than what I gave them in the animation. They were developed way before that, and I didn't have the extracted sprite data at that point, so I didn't know what the official anchors were. Well, there's an easy way to fix that. We'll go to the old heavy kit, and we'll just change the anchors. I don't know about this one. Oh wait, no, that's not the reason. Hold on, no, that one's fine. No. We'll actually just look at them and then visually gauge it. This is a lot harder than doing it automatically, but you wouldn't want to do this for a lot of them. But see where the anchor would line up with this part of the leg? Oh, we can, wow, that's way off. We can figure out where they go just by comparing it to the visual. Here, it's right in the middle of the back part of the shoe. Wow, that's way off. Okay. So it would be right here. For this one. Where is my thing? I'm getting confused. Okay, and it's in the middle of this part. Right in the middle of that part. That's pretty good. Okay. And we don't care about the other ones because we're not using these frames anymore. So, let's see. That should be. Maybe this will look a little bit better. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. Standing heavy kick. Well, that looks a lot better. I feel like we could actually go a little farther. I don't know. Maybe for gameplay we won't want to do it. Yeah, now that they're actually aligned correctly, that's fine. Okay. So this frame is going to last for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4, 6, 7. Nah, 7. I'm not sure what the width's gonna be. What did we do here? It's a little hard to tell sometimes. 64 or 67? That's about 4 frames actually. Oh, let's try that. 1, 2, 4, and then this one's probably like 6 or 8. 150. All right, I need my spreadsheet. Where is my spreadsheet? Frames to MS. What did I say? 150? That's 9? Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. That's a slow kick. Again, 150. This one's also 150. And this is 100. So that's 9 and 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 6. Is that right? Well, that one lasts. Wait, hold on. No, I'm getting myself. 9, 9, 6. Did I get that right? Oh no, I got that right. I had the double frame here. It was confusing me. So this one actually goes back one to make it full 6. You can see how far it activates along the timeline because it's lit up here. When you do a sprite, it lasts for a whole frame. Oh, he slides backwards. Right? Yeah, what's going on here? Okay, he needs to come forward more. Oh yeah, quite a bit. And that is 10. So now it's at 3.6. And that looks like it just steps down nicely. So, yep, and that's it. And that's the end of the movement. Hey, how about that? Doesn't look too bad. Okay. We need to make sure that he's told not to. This is standing heavy kick, selfie, and it should just work. Yeah, how about that? There's no hitboxes, so it's not going to hit anything yet. But yeah, look at that. He travels pretty far with it too, which is kind of cool. Okay. So the next part is the hitboxes. So we need to have Harry open here. Close that, but we need this open. And we want some hitboxes. And we also want heavy standing, right? No, just heavy. Yeah, heavy kicking. Oh, run. Okay, so it starts with 0 and 1. That's the body standing. And I'll be honest, the rest of it is probably not worth keeping. So, can I just shift? No, I gotta do this. I'm just gonna get rid of all these, and we'll start over. Okay, we want... Oh, Ken needs to move. Ken, get up. Let's actually turn this one into the hit. We'll give it function before form, right? So we'll say on this frame we want 2 to be active. Right? Not showing now. How come it's not showing? Maybe it's invalid. Combo hit's going to be 0. That's the attack data down here. We don't care about all that. No hit alias. Oh, you know what? Is it? No. It's not showing for some reason. Do I have to go back? Oh, here we go. I have to go back here. It didn't. It's a little weird. You gotta load this and then go back. Okay, obviously we don't want it to be that big. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We do have... Wait, no, I've got it here. We do have a reference to this. Right here. Okay, I see what they're trying to do here. When they surround it with a hurt box, so the red's the hit, the blue's the hurt, and the light blue, the cyan, that's your physical space. So what this tells me when I'm looking at it is that this is designed to be a grounded move only for the most part. It's not really designed to be an anti-air. You could certainly hit someone out of the air. The fact that the hurt box extends above it makes it a bad anti-air move. And so we'll just kind of copy this for now and see how that looks and works. So I don't know, it probably shouldn't hit, should it hit crouching intelligence? Yeah, it hits pretty decently here, because any standing person is going to be right here. It probably doesn't hit crouching, but the question is, should it? Yeah, so the reason that this makes it an ineffective anti-air is that if you're kicking down from the air, it might even hit it first before the hurt box hits you coming in on it. At the very least, it's going to trade, because your attack's also going to hit. but you may even preemptively hit Terry before it even the kick even hits you, and therefore you win. Right? You're most likely guaranteed to trade. You might even beat it. Yeah. So I would say, man, you know, part of me, because look at what the kick's doing. It's starting here, and it's going here. It really makes me want to do kind of like one of the frames is like this, and then the next frame is like this. Because you got that sort of arc there, right? Where you see from here to here. Actually, it's easier to show on this. I go back here. Yeah. See how this kind of like arcs out. I even have it probably on the lines, right? Yeah. See how this arcs out? It would mean that the foot would have traveled between here and here. So should it hit down here? Should it hit in this path? I do that with crouching heavy punch for Ken and Ryu. And I believe Third Strike does the same thing. Check that. Where is... yeah. There we go. We'll go look at Ryu. This is standard, right? We go to normal, so we do crouching fierce. We'll take off everything except the... Yeah, okay. Okay, see this? Because the fist starts here, when the fist goes from here to here, that whole arc, the whole path that the fist would have traveled, becomes an active hitbox. And then in the next frame, it's gone. Yeah, it is a beautiful sight to behold, ain't it? Now this only lasts one frame here. Now Pocket Fighter EX is a little different, where this frame actually lasts more than one frame. So what I do is the first frame has both boxes, and the second frame that this pose is here, the bottom box is gone. You'll need a pretty good chunk of disk space to do any kind of game development with all the tools like Photoshop, if you use that. Like Sprite's pretty lightweight, but Unity is gigs and gigs and gigs of memory. You know, especially if you're going to start compiling for other platforms and things like that. So either way, let's take a look. Let's take a look at his heavy kick here. Because not all moves do that, but I think it's important to have ones that do. Crouching. No, we just want normal. Right here. I went by it like 3 times. See, this one doesn't really do that. You don't get hurtbox or hitboxes from here to here. It's only active at a certain point. Yeah, no problem. Maybe Ken's would be a better one. I'm trying to think of who's got what kind of animations here. Yeah, let's look at Ken, because he's got that medium kick. I think that might tell us something here. So let's turn off everything except the damage box. Yeah, well, this is a very straight kick. So from this frame to this frame, the whole arc of the kick is actually covered. It's a very straight shot. You don't have any like arc like this, it's just straight. No, it's all KOF music tonight. Last time I put Guilty Gear on, we ran into a little trouble. So I guess we're not doing Guilty Gear music anymore. Or no, it was BlazBlue, was it? I don't. Maybe Guilty Gear was left alone. I think it was BlazBlue that got caught in the system, and it wasn't happy. I'm trying to think who's got like sort of an arcing kick. Like I guess his hold forward might be, right? Yeah, this is a little different because this is an overhead. I wouldn't expect them to necessarily do this. Yeah, it's not gonna show the whole arc because it's meant to be an overhead. It's not meant to be anything else. So they wouldn't necessarily do that. Well, you know what? We can do it both ways, and if we like the way it is, then cool. If we don't like the way it is, then we don't have to use it. So let's move this baby back a little bit. Say maybe like this. Oh, we'll give him an extra pixel range, and we've tied it to the damage 1. So now we're going to duplicate, and we're going to say that this one is going to be 3. Right now, it just happens to be a copy. That's okay. We will. Oh, go back where you were. Oh, not that. We're gonna say it's gonna be something like how about this? Something like this. That gives you the path from one foot to another. See what I mean? And then in the next frame, we can turn it off. So it's only that one frame that's going to hit. And we get here, this turns into that, and we're done. Now, obviously, there's more work to be done with the hurt boxes, but this effectively gets us the functionality that we want. Oh, why did that? Oh, sorry. Effectively gives us the functionality we want. Right. Oh, hold on. I think the curves are wrong. Is that right? There we go. Now we're alright. Oh, I left the music high. Is it too high? Can you still hear me alright? Or is it just right? But I think it makes sense because the foot travels through that area, right? So you get that little extra bit where you can hit crouchers. Now we'll see if it actually hits crouchers or not. We can, oh yeah, it'll hit crouchers anyway, apparently. Whew, what range? But we can change that. So I want to. How much is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I might have to move it 5. Heavy kick B2. gonna say put lower for this one. Okay, this one will move +5. See if that's enough to clear the crouching character. Oh. Nope. Still. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna disable that other one just for now. We're just gonna say that's disabled. That way we can tell. Okay, it still hits by 1. Oh no, that was the wrong one. That was the lower one. The upper one. We want the height to be 13 then. What? Really? Wait, am I doing the right one? Come on, that should be getting it. What? Oh, I guess it is too. It is too low. Okay. Bump it up another one. Or did I do height instead of Y? I probably did. Oh. There we go. Okay, so now it won't hit crouchers, right? And let's adjust the data based on that. Let's go here. I'm back to here. We're gonna say that the height is now reduced. And we'll re-enable this one. And increase the height. In fact, actually, I'm going to move it up a little bit too. That way it'll be less likely to clash with low profile attacks. But it'll still definitely hit crouchers. So basically what this does is it makes it so that if you're in a certain range... Oh, it doesn't work at all now. Okay, what happened? What now? No? Wait, what happened? It doesn't work now. What did I do? Did I break something? Oh. Yes, I did actually. There we go. So if you're of a certain distance, you're not going to hit the croucher. But if you're right close, you'll hit them. But I'm not going to make it stand, right? Just a touch high? It's not too out of turn. Okay, that turned out a little bit. Have I made other games before this? Yes. Yes, I have. One called Ecto Rush. Well, completed games, put it that way. Completed games, one called Ecto Rush and one called Hamster Drop. They were mobile games, not fighting games. Nothing big boy. Yeah, so this I'm pretty happy with this kind of functionality. If you're too far, you can crouch it and they'll just whiff it, and then you'll be right in their face. And oopsie doodle, that's not good. And then if you're close enough, you'll hit the croucher. You step in, so I mean, you still get pretty good range. But you won't be able to poke super long range with it. Let's see. They are unfortunately no longer available. So the best I could tell you is you could potentially find them out there in the wild. I won't say where, but you could potentially find them out there. And I don't care if you do that way. They're not available anymore, so I can't morally fault you for acquiring them in a different manner. I think Ecto Rush is only on Android. But Hamster Drop is both on iOS and Android. If you can find them, go for it. but they are no longer for sale. Now, I'd like to bring them back. I'm rebuilding Hamster Drop. But, I would like to do both of them, but it just takes time to do that kind of thing. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. See, the thing is, even if you had Ecto Rush installed, you still wouldn't be able to play it unless it was modified, because the ad server information is bunkus now. So you wouldn't even be able to play it even if you had it. So, yeah, go ahead and find them. And then give them a shot. I think they're pretty decent. They're not the best games in the world, but they're pretty decent. They look good. They look really good. But I think their gameplay could be improved. And that's part of why I don't just kind of, like, throw them back up there, too. It would take time to get them adapted to the new App Store requirements and all that. But putting all that time into it, I would like to just remake it in a way that it's easier to publish on multiple platforms and that stuff. So I'd just let them redo it in Unity, essentially. And that's what I'm doing currently with Hamster Drop. It's kind of on the side. I don't have a stream for it, so I just kind of work on it a couple days a month, and that's it. It's very, very back burner, since I've already got 2 projects on my plate. Hey, Hamster Drop's pretty good. Ecto Rush, man, we had a real rough schedule on that one. That one came out a little rushed. Get it? Ecto Rush? And it was a rush development? Ha 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 ha. Right? Get it? Now I'm really depressed thinking about that. What an appropriate name, and I never really even thought about it. How about this? That's a pretty decent arc from where it is visually, but gameplay-wise, we want to say that the farther you are, you'll have to be standing in order for this to work as a pose. Rush it, yeah. It's rushed. We had to make a very tight deadline, and that was the publisher idea. It wasn't fun. I mean, making the game was fun, but some of the issues with it were interesting. What? Let's say it's got 3 active frames, 2 punish frames, and then we'll go from there. If you want to whiff punish it, shoot it out of the air. Crunch is never good. Yeah. Well, there's the thing with that. If crunch didn't happen, most of the video games that you like today would have never been made. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying that... Oh, that's only 2 frames now, isn't it? 1, 2... Yeah, okay. 1 out of 3 frames. I'm not saying you should do crunch. But what I'm saying is, traditionally, if there had been no crunch, a lot of the games that you enjoy today would have never existed. And that's because people who invest in games don't want to pay for the development of games of their full cost. The full human and resource cost of a video game is much more than a publisher would be willing to pay. Because it would be like 3 or 4 times the price that it is currently. If you worked only 8 hours a day and you got paid for only 8 hours a day, and you tried to make the same game, it would take like twice as long to make. So it's like, oh, games take super big games take like 4 or 5 years to make. Okay, well, you'll have to be waiting, 8 to 9 years for that same game now. And publishers don't want that because they know that it will not be a quick return on their money. So they won't pay for that kind of thing. Or they won't pay the double the cost to get it done in the same amount of time with double the people or whatever. It doesn't scale exactly, twice as long versus, we can cut the time in half if we had, double the people. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you have to really add a lot of people to get more, a quicker schedule out of it. But just to talk about it in basic terms, that's what would be required, and the publishers don't want to pay out of pocket for that. They want it as cheap as possible, and they want to sell it for as much as possible, because their idea is, I'm investing in this to make money. And if it's potentially not going to make money, or it's going to cost more money than it might make, then then they're not going to make that. So that's a sort of double-edged thing. Like I said, I'm not saying that you should do crunch. I'm just saying that the reality is, if you want to advocate that developers no longer do crunch, then you're going to have to be willing to make other sacrifices. Either the game's going to be looking last gen, or the game's going to take twice as long to make, or something. There's nothing's free, so to speak. You got to pay somewhere along the line. And I think it's important that people realize that, because obviously you want to have workers' rights, especially in these kind of fields where you get the horror stories of, I worked 7 days a week for 3 months straight doing like 16-hour days, and now I've destroyed my ability to work. Like, that's, that's not good. Those kind of conditions are very bad. And not everybody's built to handle that kind of thing. But you've got to realize, too, that as long as people continue to demand the same level of quality at the same price, things aren't going to change. Because someone's going to pay there. And it's sure as hell not going to be the publishers, because they're not going to open their wallets. They don't care. So it's kind of like a deadlock thing. It's really a tough issue to crack open, right? I think this is a good balance. Let me turn boxes off and see how it feels. Yeah, see that? It really looks like it should be hitting him right at that range too. But when you're far enough, it whizzes over his head. It has a lot to do with the previous frame in there. Has a lot to do with the previous frame. Because when you see the foot's like right in front of his face, and be like, why wouldn't it hit him? You want that to hit him when you're that close. I think that's the right call, having the lower hitbox, and then just at range, it'll whiff. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, most of the time, I just play indie games. Which, who knows if they're actually made with crunch or not. That's up to the individual project. But in terms of, like, graphics quality and all that, I really don't care. Go ahead and make everything look last gen. I mean, we've kind of peaked on graphics anyway. There's always going to be some envelope that someone's going to want to push, but okay. And the effects of this are only temporary too, because once the technology and the efficiency of tools catches up to bridge that gap, then you'll have that cost factor be covered. Yeah, exactly. It's mostly about art style and art direction now. Absolutely. So now would be the time to implement that kind of anti-crunch stuff, you know, unionize or whatever. I know they don't like to talk about it openly because you can get in a lot of trouble. You know, people can get fired if they talk about unionizing, but nobody owns me, so I'm gonna screech from the rooftops. Do it. Do it. Just do it. God, stop talking about it and just do it. Get the people together. I mean, there's enough horror stories out there. Just do it. I don't know. That's my opinion on it. It's like a lot of things. It's like, oh, well, we're gonna take a dip in quality, and it's like, yes, but it's only temporary. If you look at the quality, the graphic quality that indie games have now, let's say like 3D indie games, that the quality that they have now, they would have never been able to afford 10 years ago, and they would have never been able to afford at all 20 years ago. So you say, oh yeah, the quality of the games are going to drop. That's true, but the quality to price ratio lowers over time anyway. So within a console's generation of time, you're probably back to where you were anyway. And you also don't have crunch. You know what I mean? The workflows get faster. I mean, sure, there's diminishing returns in some respect, but it's going to kind of even out along the way. It's the same thing, like back 10 years ago, well, maybe not 10 years ago, well, that was 2010, let's say 20 years ago. Look at what cell phones looked like back then. They're basically just calculators with a cell phone attached. They couldn't do they didn't even have color screens. And look how much they cost. They cost a fortune back then. But now you can get, I mean, sure, the iPhone 10s and 11s or whatever are way more expensive than anything was back then. But for today, you can spend that extra, like, you can buy a $50 smartphone now that's got a color screen, it can play apps, it can do all that stuff. And your old flip phone that may not even had a color screen back 20 years ago might have cost you the same thing, $50. So you see what I mean? The technology progresses anyway, and it's much cheaper to produce these things over time, and video games are no different. All the tools and the advancement and the computing power of the computers that they develop them on, they go sky high, and so all those costs get scaled back over time, and you'll just eventually even out. So you take a hit now to help the people that make the games, and you'll be right back where you were before you know it. That's how I see it. I would hit that button right away if it were me. But it's not up to me, it's up to the market, and it's up to the players that pay for the games, essentially. You know, and the publishers to actually enact that kind of thing. So even if, well, I was gonna say, even if you did do some kind of boycott, you know, the publishers probably have enough people that are fans that'll buy it anyway that it doesn't matter. You'd have to do a real gigantic boycott to even start to change minds. And I don't know what to do there. I really don't have an answer for that. I don't know how to get it started. I think what's probably going to happen is just at some point it's going to get so bad that the developers, the ones actually working on it, not the publishers, but the ones actually programming and doing the art, they're just going to unionize, and it's going to force the publishers to make a move. And that's it. I think that's what's really going to do it, but they're just afraid to do it because anybody that talks about it, well, the publisher wants to get rid of them. I can't have them talk about unionization. That's gonna impact that bottom line there. We don't want that. So let's get them out of there, you know? And that's very scary because, you know, some developers don't have mouths to feed. Some developers don't have children and don't have families. They're young, or they don't want to have kids or whatever, and that's fine. They might be able to take that risk. But, you know, Johnny down in the art department, he's got 2 kids and a wife, and if he gets he loses his job, we got big problems. Now he's in a very bad position. So Johnny's not going to be too enthusiastic about talking about things that are going to get them fired. And that's where it kind of they get you. Yeah, I think so. It's inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. You know, as crunch gets pushed harder and harder, and you know more cuts happen. I think it's inevitable. You're just gonna have it. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna take a while to get there. That's all. I would love to see it now, but it ain't up to me, unfortunately. But I'll be happy when it does. They were actually talking a lot about it, like last year, or maybe a year and a half ago. It kind of got back into the discourse of whether or not we should do it, and this and that, and I thought maybe someone might finally do it, because it was kind of the hot topic issue at the time, but it just died down again, unfortunately. Alright, and if we make him stand up. There, that's a nice long range poke. Yeah, you're all the way over here. Boom, got him. Get back. Change in the work culture industry only happens in the worst case scenario. That's the thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to get more NetherRealm stories of like looking at like slaughtered cow carcasses for 8 hours a day has caused a dude to like break from reality. And other dudes just like you really need just some dude just flat out dies from working too much. And that's sad to say, but that will be the thing to help trigger something like this. Otherwise, I don't know. It's things don't usually change unless there's a reason to. Until something bad really happens, and you hate to see it that way. But that's unfortunately how most of this stuff works. Do you think COVID killed the momentum on Crunch Talk? That's possible. It's possible. And actually, like as bad as COVID is, how do I want to say this? It's not that I'm glad that COVID happened, but I think it actually helped some of these studios figure out that hold on a second. Trying to pick my words carefully. Not that it's a contentious thing, but just to be accurate. Alright, let me back up. A lot of management environments were very opposed to people working from home. Not only from a technological standpoint, because the people at the top of management may not understand all the technology that goes into it, but also from kind of a stigma attached to it that, oh, people that work from home, well, they're not really working. They're goofing off most of the day. They're not disciplined enough to do that. And when it became mandatory, when the realization hit that, oh yeah, everybody's just gonna have to work from home. We can't just close for 6 months or 8 months or however many, because at the time we didn't know. Once they were forced into that, then they noticed like, hey, in some cases, productivity actually went up for people. They're more relaxed at home. You know, they can get up and fix their favorite food or whatever. They got their fridge at home. They can stock their favorite stuff. They can get their special coffee at home. You know, they can kind of like relax a bit. You know, they can open the windows. They're in a comfortable environment. That kind of stuff. And well, as long as you don't have the person goofing off, that can you can watch anime on the clock. No, we're talking about increased productivity, not decrease. But yeah, as long as the person's not screwing around, all those factors combined make them more productive. Because they're more, well, yeah, security, that's what I mean about the technology thing part, where they don't understand the technology as much. Now there's ways that you can securely do that stuff. Most companies have secure remote communications between different buildings and stuff like that. And that's commonplace. And they can just apply that same security measure to when you work at home and so on. So they may provide you a laptop to do that. They say this is the laptop, this work laptop, and you don't do anything except work on it, and you don't load anything on it, and you just use it for that, and that keeps it kind of out of the there's potential threats, like if you hook up to your home Wi-Fi, maybe a computer on the Wi-Fi has a virus on it, and it's going to try to infect that new computer that you just brought home and whatever. Now you can, as long as that unit is protected properly, then there's a very low risk of that. But if you use just your desktop at home, maybe it's already got a virus, and now you've connected it to the company servers, and it can get in there and do all these nefarious things. But if they hand you a laptop and they secure it down, then it's separated from everything else. You know what I mean? There's not a pre-existing threat there. And that topic can go real deep. So that's a whole other thing. But the point is that it's absolutely doable. There's no reason technologically not to do this anymore. So anyway, where I'm going with this is that now that we have the proof shoved in management's face that, yeah, this actually increases productivity instead of decreases productivity, the working conditions for these people have improved slightly. So there may be less talk about it now, because you get a little bit of an improvement and everybody kind of forgets about it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to think of a happy example here. I can't think of a happy example. Okay, well, let's put it this way. I'll use a personal example. I have a problem with overworking, and that usually ends up with me getting injured. But during the recovery of that injury, I'll feel better. One day I'll feel, wow, I feel like 50% better than I did yesterday. That's a huge improvement. And then I just go back to working all day. And then I make my injury worse by doing that. I think we're kind of in that lull of the pressure decreased a little bit. And then everybody's like, wow, this is so much better. I feel so much better. It's not that you've fixed the problem, but the people aren't feeling the pain as much. Because they've been feeling it for so long, you take a little bit of the pain away and it feels so relieving. And it gets your mind off of, you know, the let's unionize thing a little bit. Because now everything's a little bit better, you're a little more relaxed, you're feeling better, and your mind's not thinking about it all the time because it's not a constant, intense pain as it used to be. But sentiment will slowly grow back to that as that levels out. That's my guess as to why the discourse may have taken out. Yeah, exactly. Injury, heal, injury, negative 100. Heal 50, injury, negative 100. That's my life. And I'm learning to deal with that, and I'm learning to step away preemptively to avoid that. And it's been working. And I've been much better at it. And I feel much, much better than I have in the past year. So I'm learning that lesson. I'm being a little better with myself. But I think we're kind of in that lull. If I had to guess as to why the discourse kind of went away from that, something must be distracting people from that. And usually it's like, we turned the pressure off a little bit. We turned the pressure down. And so you're not as agitated as you used to be and that kind of stuff. That would be my guess. But over time, the pressure is going to build back up. And it has to, because people are going to be continually hurt by this until something changes. You know, you've got people that leave the industry because of like just permanent burnout. Like they get driven so hard that they just can't perform that function anymore. Either it mentally or physically breaks them, and they can't do it anymore. And you don't think about physical strain. You're like, oh, they're sitting at a desk. Oh, they're just drawing all day. What could that possibly do? But you draw enough with your arm. An artist can tell you. You draw enough, for long periods of time, you're sitting down a lot. The body's not meant to stay in that position. It's not meant to strain the arm that long. It's not meant to do this stuff. And over that time, it actually turns into injuries. You can start to get chronic pain. You know, you can get stiffness. You can get some loss of motor function in severe cases. And it's not good. If you sit down all day, I'm bad with this, and I'm trying to get myself away from sitting so much all day. You can actually form blood clots from sitting too long. Yeah, calluses, and the drawing calluses. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. You say, gee, the lazy artists, they don't do nothing but sit there and doodle on the thing all day. But yeah, you can get injured from those kinds of things. But there's those stigma around it too, where it's like, if someone who's not in the game industry is thinking like, video game developers, how could they get injured? Like, really? You know, and that's the attitude, and that sort of delegitimizes, you know, when we try to do stuff. Well, now, I mean, I guess I can't put me in that. So when I say we, I say the industry at large. When we try to bring up issues of like injury and overworking and all this other stuff, that'd be like, you've got a cushy job, you just sit there all day, what are you complaining about? You know, that's the typical response that you would hear. Like, I used to hear all the time, yeah, carpal tunnel, that's another one. I wear, I started to get that. I've been wearing the wrist braces, and that's been doing good. I wear those at night, and I do stretches on my wrist, and that stuff's pretty much gone away. But I have to keep using the braces at night, so it's helping quite a lot. But yeah, that aside, I don't know how many times I've heard from family members and other people when I was working on Hamster Drop and Ecto Rush, and they're like, well, you need to get a real job. And I'm like, do you realize how much I actually work on this? Like, would you like to sit with me for an 18-hour work session and then do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day? Do you want to sit through my lunch break that's actually me eating food while still typing? Do you want to come and experience that? Because I'm pretty sure you'd be quite surprised at what it actually takes to do this kind of stuff. It's just an insane amount of work. You just need a lot of time to get through it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. How are those weekends that you enjoy that I don't have anymore? But I think at some level that's kind of the wrong take too, because then you're just kind of comparing misery at that point, and I don't find that to be very productive. But you know, that's where my mind goes to first instinctually. It's like, would you like to sit in with an 18-hour work session with me? And we'll do that 7 days a week for the next 6 months. You want to do that? How about we'll do that? But I think it's fundamentally just not an understanding of that. They just say, oh, well, I see him sitting in the computer chair. I mean, what's he actually? I think he's typing, but you know, what's he really doing? You know, I mean, well, this is a video game. You just make the dude walk, right? I mean, it can't be that hard. That's the attitude, you know. That's kind of what you get with that, and it's just fundamentally a misunderstanding. They don't understand what it takes to make a game, so it's just how it goes, right? Everyone should just acknowledge that all work is still work and can still be very difficult. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just pressing buttons all day. Yeah, pretty much, right? And artists get the same bad rap in general. I mean, the artists they've been fighting this for, what, millennia? We still don't think art is a real job. We still don't. And how long has it been since artists have been around? We got cave paintings, right? Come on. Hell, they were probably more respected in the cave days than they are now. Can you imagine? I mean, you know, we've had commercial art for... I don't know. When would the first commercial artists have really arisen? At least 2,000 years by now. Wait, how? No, yeah, God, it'd be more than that, obviously, duh. Because Jesus died 2,000 years ago, and we had paintings and shit back then. Artists are only respected when they're dead. Hey, that's changing, thank God, but that's been traditionally true. I'm trying to think now, like how far back did we have money? Because as soon as you had money, you must have had commercial artists. I don't know. Hey, we're getting way off topic here. I love talking about these kinds of things, but we're getting way off topic. Commercial art sort of popularized during the Renaissance period. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You probably had some stuff before, but it would not have been prevalent. Yeah, that makes sense. I see, I don't know if this is actually true, but I thought it was a funny meme. There was, the whole thing about paying artists more money, paying artists what they're worth, was going around Twitter or whatever. And, of course, you always got the jackass. I was like, oh, it's just art. I mean, come on, really? It's just art. What do you expect? How can you spend so much money on whatever? You know, it's like, well, look at all the great artists of history, and, you know, they did it for the passion. And someone snapped back, and I hope this is true, because this is hilarious if it is. And they're like, the Mona Lisa was a commission. I was like, oh shit, okay. I mean, if that's true, that pretty much blows that guy up. I hope it's true. I never actually looked into it. I just took the tweet at its face value, which I know that's dangerous. You know, I should never do that. But it really proves the point. I mean, even if that one specifically wasn't, you know, commissions were a thing back then. So Leonardo didn't work for free. Yeah, there you go. All right. So that's the thing. I don't know. That's a whole big topic, man. The Sistine Chapel was commissioned too. Yeah, I would imagine a job that big, they would have paid the guy. I mean, the church had lots of money. Come on, you definitely had. How do I say this? There was no reason for the church not to pay. They were swimming in money. I'll put it that way. So I'd be actually really surprised if they did it for free. I could see him wanting to do it. You know, okay, I want to do my churchly duty or whatever. But the man's got to eat, you know? It's like the priests get paid. So why can't he, right? I'm sure they're not going to let you paint on a church's ceiling for shits and giggles. Yeah, well, obviously you'd have to have permission or whatever. But even so, you know, you can, like, churches have volunteers, right, for certain things, and that helps keep the operating costs down. But for something that huge of a task, I can't imagine them not paying, you know, for that. So, hello. Amber's back. Are they still blocking the road?
No, they're fine.
Oh, did you go to the break?
I did.
I was just wondering. I didn't know, because I didn't know if you were just downstairs. Oh, okay. That's alright. Yeah, anyway, we lost the plot a long time ago. Let's get back on here. We want, oh, did I turned hitboxes off, didn't I? Let's get the rest of this move out here. So there's two things to concern, when you're dealing with a forward-moving attack like this. Right now, the engine's not too good about tracking, push box positions when people are moving. It kind of just moves, and then after it decides, oh, hey, what side of the other person are you on, and then pushing the two away, right? So, hey, wait, we got a mismatch here on the height. Let's change that. See how his whole thing there. Hold on, okay. Hold on. Let's just copy it. I probably didn't update this moves. Because we copied this from the old kick. So, Piper's wheezing again. She's one of them breeds that they bred them so weird, the dogs, that they got weird noses, and sometimes they can't breathe right, and they make noises. I don't know if you heard it or not. It can get pretty loud. There's not. Yeah. I don't know if they can actually fix it or not. It's just they're genetic nightmares at this point, and that's depressing to think about. Where? Yeah, Hitbox. Okay, these are the ones that are shared between all the characters, so the standing is changed. Like if I change it here, it changes for everybody, right? So I want to copy that, and then we'll go back to Harry's heavy kit. And this is the hurt, right? Yeah, so paste that there. And I'll tag it as body. What was the white hitbox on the ground? Oh, that's the proximity guard. So if you're within range of this white hitbox and you're holding back, you'll go into your guard stance. We'll have to adjust that. It's actually showing through the whole animation, but we have to change that. Once the active hitbox goes away, you want to make sure that that's no longer there. And the same thing can be counter hit or not. You want to change those properties. Okay, and then now we have to copy the body space. And the body space is like when you get too close to the other character and you start pushing them, it's just that. So hitboxes, heavy kick 2, body space, paste. Oh, yeah, I should say that's stand instead of body. Yeah, no problem. King of Fighters does it this way. And Capcom actually does it like where the box is here. It'll actually extend out here for the flinch box or proximity guard or whatever you want to call it. I think, based on what I've seen. And then King of Fighters has it on the ground. But I think it's because King of Fighters never dabbled in like air blocking or anything. So they didn't have to like do too much like air guarding or whatever. But Capcom's probably just used to doing it like this because by the time Alpha came out, now 4 and 5 don't have it, but Alpha had air blocking to some degree. Either way, they're consistent now. You see that they're in the right spots. Now this hurt box and push box are pretty good up until this point. And even here, we'll probably just need to add to it a little bit. Yeah, actually, I've got an idea of what I want to do with this. So I'm going to copy the hurt box and paste it here as the 4th box. So when we get to this frame, I want to change this to 4. And I want this to actually be thinner. Number 1, because visually, you know, he's leaning backwards, right? Which actually we can push it a little back, cover that. But the other reason is that when we transition to this frame, I think it makes sense, at least, to kind of carve away some of the availability of hit here. So you can, like if he does a crouching low kick or crouching light kick, you could probably beat him out. Well, I don't know, because he's crouching, right? It might be a little different. If he does a standing light kick, actually even, you might beat him out. So you can't necessarily trade with a light, low hitting attack, would be the idea. That this would hit, but you can't hit him so much here. So when we get here, let's see, I'm gonna say pre-kick, or pre-kick body. And we'll duplicate, and we'll do kick body. And I'm gonna make it even thinner here. So this is 4, and now we're 5. And I would say we're gonna make it even thinner, like this. So you can't hit him quite as easily. See? Oh, hold on. I gotta make sure these curves are correct. I don't know what's coming. I gotta make them constant so that they're not interpolating the box ID. In other words, it would slide from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, when it should just go from 1 to 4. See, like that. And then we'll build another hitbox on top of this to give it a different thing. Let's see. Killer Instinct does it like Capcom's Proximity Guard 2. Weird difference, but I guess in the end it doesn't really matter in all the scenarios they could think of. Yeah, as long as you don't have air blocking, I don't think it matters. Because when you jump and do an air attack, like you'll see, like it'll... Here, let me put him on all guard. I think he'll do it. Yeah. Before the attack hits, he'll start to guard. And that would be the primary concern here, that you would jump in and then he wouldn't be proximity guarding in time. But here, because it's below you, it comes down and it swipes down over you and coats you with the box, so to speak, so that you'll stop moving in time for the hit to occur. So it looks proper. And that's fine. But if you had air blocking, that wouldn't be good, because if you were jumping with the character, see, it might not necessarily it might not necessarily hit him. See, he wouldn't have gotten his proximity guard there because it was under him. But since King of Fighters doesn't deal with air block, they don't have to worry about that. So I went with that way. It was the easier way to implement. You know, in the future I might make something a little more automatic, but it's a little hard to, it would be harder to make it automatic based on the other stuff. It would be a bit more involved, so I don't bother with it. Yeah, so it kind of just depends on your game, what your game requires. If I ever have to add air blocking at some point, you know, if I just wake up one day and I'm like, Pocket Fighter EX really needs air blocking. If that ever becomes the case, then sure, I'll just have to make that change, right? So let's look back at our reference frame here and see what they did. So even though Terry's looking down, his hurt box actually extends higher than it would normally. And that's, again, to make it less good as an anti-air option. And I agree with that, so we're going to go here, and we're just going to bump it up a little bit. And then in addition to that, we're going to make another, I'm going to call it Kick Punish. No, do I want it to say Kick Punish? What do I want to call it? Yeah, Kick Punish is fine. We're going to add one more attribute here. So we're at, what, 5 or 6 now? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have recording on. Oh, yeah, it's got to be 0, or -1 rather, is off. Because the first hitbox ID is 0, so -1 is when the hitbox is not showing. Okay, and we go here, and now we're on 6. I think that is the correct ID. Go back to Heavy Punch here. Yes, it is 6. And what I'm going to do... Yeah, you didn't see it because it was the same size as the other one that was hiding. What I'm going to do... is kind of do this. So with one extra box here, we can... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the top first. I'm not going to worry about that one. And there's a reason why. I'll explain it in a second. But I'm going to do this first. You want to have the smallest boxes possible. So when collisions happen to occur, they will... maybe about there. When collisions occur, if the boxes are smaller, it's easier to calculate where the hit spark is supposed to be. I could certainly have made it work with the other shape, but it might have led to a more inaccurate hit spark being produced. So we're gonna say, we're gonna duplicate, and we're gonna say kick lower punish. Do that. And we'll go back here, and we're going to add 7. And we have to go back to this. Did it add that? Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, and it's the right. It's acting right. Set the -1 at first. Then we'll go back to the hitboxes. Oh, yeah, no, have a good one, man. Yeah, going to the gym. Yeah, don't be like me and sitting in the chair all day, right? Yeah, go get that workout. Don't get those blood clots. Yeah, you have a good one. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. You can always check the replay too, obviously. We're on YouTube and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is put one down here. Again, it doesn't extend out as far, right? So we want it higher so that we're not getting hit by low profile attacks. But we can make it a little easier to punish underneath. I think that's reasonable. That looks okay. This isn't really meant to be the poke part, so it doesn't need to extend outward to have any priority. This is just for the crouched characters. And then once that's over, you can probably just get rid of it. So we can just go back to -1, I feel. But you want to have something here that can a hit can trade with, right? You don't want it to just be jutting out and be invincible. Boom, boom. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I think that's alright. Okay, now I want to add a new one, but we're going to copy kick punish, paste it here, and we're just gonna decrease the width some. And that's what we're going to put here. So this is 8. There. See? So it contracts in a little bit. Now this becomes a point of study and testing for when you do something like this. Depending on how punishable it is and the ranges you want to punish this move on, you may actually move this forward and backward a bit, and change the size. You say, well, it's a little too punishable, so we're going to make it, closer to the character. Or it needs to be more punishable, so we're going to extend it out more. Right now, I'm just going to fit it to the visuals, and we'll just have to test and see how that works. And in fact, actually, that moving that forward was actually the better call here, so I'm going to do that with this one as well, where we're just going to put it up here, and I had it about here. Like, got a little priority at the end, but it doesn't have a lot of priority. It's kind of like a heavy punch. And depending on what kind of move it's supposed to be, you may want to change that. Say, well, it needs more priority. You know, so it'll hit without being hit back. So we're going to move that back a little bit. And that's what testing and stuff is for. So, okay, we've got that, we've got that. And then it comes back. And then when we get here, I feel like we can probably just go back to using 0. Yeah. Because at this point you're standing, essentially. So this gives you a decent standing hitbox to hit. And it won't look weird if we transition to this, from this to the hurt. And his positioning is pretty much where it's going to be. And that's pretty much it. That looks functional to me. I'm not sure if he's gonna need some additional width on his body space or not. He could potentially warp through someone moving that quickly. Oh, he's such a human. I was gonna say, why is he attacking? Yeah, maybe not. I don't think there's enough width there to go through. Maybe if the other character does like an EX or something. I'll have to test that by setting Terry to do this as his wake up. Oh. Well, now that's strange. Why is it doing that? I think, yeah, when you use the animator in Unity when it's running in real time, some stuff gets goofy. So let's just save it and restart it. Like Shoryukens get weird. They have like lingering hitboxes and stuff. It's quite strange. Yeah, okay, it's fixed now. It's just Unity being goofy. All right, we've got to change the frame data. That is absolutely not good there. So the way that I typically do this is I go to standing heavy kick. I'll go, hey, okay, from the first frame that it hits, which is frame 12, right? Versus how much? 35, 36, 37, 36, 37, 38. 39 frames. So 39 minus 12, and that gets us our recovery. And we can plug that in. What's that? 39 minus 12. 39 minus 12. 39 minus 12. Gotta remember that. Recovery. 39. You could just literally type this in. 39 minus 12. And there you go. 27. I'm terrible at mental math. That's what we got going on. And then here's your advantage. I'm going to say it's going to be like plus 4. Even plus 5 maybe. And then it's going to be like negative 12. I think that would make sense. Oh, maybe that's too much. They don't get moved very far, do they? What? The math run? I should be able to... Yep, there it is. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be plus 3 then, so that we can't do that. Now, I'm going to change the knockback too. I think the knockback's not quite good enough. I think that's pretty funny. He was able to combo. Yeah, there we go. It's more like that. And let me turn the box on. Whew, that hits far. Let's see if we. It's almost the same, but it's faster. There we go. All right, now it's got a pretty good advantage on it. One of the ways that you can balance some of this stuff is, yeah, then you can't hit him and then set him up for a grab. There we go. That's better. One of the things here to consider when you're balancing the moves is you can actually have higher hit advantage. We can actually turn this back up to like 5. I don't know. Is this startup 5? This might be 5, and that'll definitely hit after. You can balance some of this stuff by just increasing the knockback. It's like, oh, it's +5. That means I can get a jab after it, right? Yeah, but jab's not gonna. It's not gonna go because you're too far away. Even if you micro walk, you're not gonna get it. So pushback can be a very big balancing mechanism. A lot of the games today don't use a lot of pushback. KOF might, but Street Fighter definitely has decreased the type of pushback that they've used for years now. I think this makes a good set of tools though for Terry here. What is this thing? 6 startup? What is light kick startup? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 6. Okay, so it won't connect. That's why it wasn't connecting. Okay, that's good. That's what you gotta be worried about. Standing up. Here we go. So this doesn't have the frame data to hit, even though it will reach after. But hey, you can set up for a frame trap, right? Not sure you'd get much off of it though. You can't cancel it. But you can harass them. Let's see, and at max range, yeah, you're not gonna get anything. That seems reasonably fair. And then if they block it, oh well, you're in a bad position. Yeah, that's gonna be easy to blow up. Okay, now we need to set our let's see, we need hitboxes on here. Here we go. Ken, you have to move. I'm sorry. Oh, I got stuck. Alright, refresh. It doesn't like you to edit these in real time sometimes. It works reasonably well enough, but sometimes it gets weird. That's okay. Let's see. Standing. There we go. Okay. So this frame here is the last frame that it is active. So we want to take out the counter hit and the flinch box at this point. You know, actually the flinch box has not been working lately, and I'm not sure why. But the counter hit status should be fine. Flinch boxes just don't seem to go away anymore. I've noticed it and I've marked it down, I just don't know why it happens. But we still want to mark the property, so when it does get fixed, it'll be fine. Okay. Oh no, that's time's up? That's alright, we'll keep going. We're not too far off. We took a big old tangent talking about workers' rights there, but that's all right. That was fun. We're not too far off from this basically being done anyway, so that helped fill my time. Trying to think. We have to test the basic, wait, can we use it? Damn it, come on. Like that. If they block that, if they either get hit by it or they block it, are they in range? I can do the combo, please. Apparently I can't. That's what I get for using a controller. Yeah, and then see, if you hit him, he's out. It would be strange if there weren't tangents. Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. But if he blocks it, you can follow up potentially with that. The other thing to consider is, at max range, should it be punishable? And that usually comes down to a couple things, not just raw frame data, although that of course applies, but how much does it push back when you block it? And how close are you? How fast can you act? And how close are the hurt boxes at that point? But even at max range, you're pretty well in range here for something. So at -10, you could hit almost any attack. Normal attack, at least. Should be fast enough. But to test that, well, first, we'll turn it off. We'll go to Terry's configuration here. And we have to get rid of the auto-generated stuff. That's a glitch I still haven't fixed. We're gonna make this the attack that Terry uses when he does his wake up, automatic wake up. So, Terry heavy kick. Oh, I guess it already was that one. Okay. Yeah, that's actually makes sense. I used it to test parrying. Face it straight! Oh. So we're gonna change to Ken, who has the most likely tools to punish this kind of thing. We're gonna play around with it. Oh, yeah. See what I mean about it potentially. If I tried to do the light kick there, it might have reached if it was any shorter. If he's really close, of course it's gonna get him, but he's gonna get counter hit out of it. Oh yeah, speaking of counter hit, make sure. Yeah. Oh, there it is. There's a lot of priority on that crouching heavy punch. What? Doggy's back. What do you want? What do you want? She's trying to go see that cat, so that's why she put you in here, huh? Because you'll chase the cat off. I figure. Yeah. Brr. I'll be done in a bit, dog. Don't you worry. Yeah, alright. But I'm gonna make him guard everything. So then he'll guard. If he can, if it is safe, he'll be able to guard. If not, then he can get punished. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much anything is going to be good here. But look at range. You have to use other attacks. You're really close? Man, you could get anything. But I think that's about right. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. As far as air priority goes. That was different. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that box was active. But again, it doesn't stick up in the air, right? So it's a really shitty anti-air. Yeah, pretty much everything will beat it out, it looks like. I'm okay with that, that's fine. Harry's got his uppercut if he wants to anti-air, or he's got rising tackle, so. Because, yeah, Ken's normals certainly don't anti-air. Only this one. Yeah, don't get blocked. So we could say that maybe we want it to be a little safer, right? Just spitballing here to show the process. We could say, I'm probably not going to keep this change, but just to exemplify it, we're going to say that it's got insane pushback on block. Whoa! Now what? Now you're not getting anywhere. You can still punish it if you're close with certain moves. But see how it kind of changes your ability to actually do anything. So if he's at range, farther range. Yeah, see, you're pretty much not gonna get anything. Yeah, you have to use a low attack, and it's got to be really long range to get that one. But I think that's too much, so let's try 3. Might be more reasonable. Then it's still a bit to contend with at maximum range. Let's see. Trying to get at the max range here. See, at very tippy-toe max range, you're kind of screwed. Maybe get a standing heavy kick? Yeah, that's pretty good right. Yeah, look at that. You can't even get it with that. And I do that with some of the moves. Like this, you can't punish that most of the time at range. If you get right at the tip of the range there, it's safe. Not mathematically, just because you're so far away. What are they gonna do? I mean, they might be able to get you with a super, like a Buster Wolf maybe, but they're not gonna get anything normal or typical out of it. And same thing here. So it's actually a good. It's actually a good way to test that max frame. Oh, did I get him from that? Wait, hold on. Did I block it? Yeah, I must have not blocked it. Must have just punished of the whiff. This is like plus 12, so that's not, or plus 13 or something. The first hit hits way quicker. It's just that second hit's like 15 frames out. I didn't get that. Let's see. And this won't hit. What else does Ken have? Hi, do you plan to put all characters from Neo Geo Pocket Fighting Games Pocket Fighter EX? No, I do not. I'm very selective about what I do. Not only because I'd like to add new characters that were never in there, but I'm trying to keep it pretty much King of Fighters and Street Fighter based. So some of the characters don't really qualify under those restrictions. But thanks for the question, and thanks for the compliment. He said, thanks for your great work. If we could get past the first 8 characters, I'd like to look into getting like new characters that have never been in the Pocket games before. Not only would that be more interesting for me to develop, it's more of a challenge to figure that out. You know, there's no template to go on, right? We've got to make our own animations. We've got to do all the cool stuff. And I'd like to do that, you know, after I'm used to doing the first set here. But I think that would be wild. Now, again, I'm not confirming what characters are going to be in, because I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself, not to think too far ahead. If I can't get the first 8 done, then it doesn't mean anything, right? But just spitballing, think of the characters that have come after CVS2 in Street Fighter. Again, I'm not saying these names as confirmations, but like you've got like Manat, you've got like Rashid, you've got G, you got Zeku. People like those characters, right? You've got good stuff. Like Poison's new, well, I guess Poison in general too, right? Because she was only playable in Street Fighter 4 for the first time. Or like Goken was only playable in Street Fighter 4 and onward. Or I guess only 4. Right, yeah, he hasn't shown up in 5. So you think of stuff like that, or like Seth. They've never had a Pocket appearance, but wouldn't it be wild if we could get some of those characters in here and working? Wouldn't that be really cool? I would love to see some new characters in. And to help facilitate that, I'm just going to omit some that have been in the previous Pocket Fighter, or the Neo Geo Pocket fighting game, because I wouldn't have time to do them all. So I gotta be very, very selective about that. Obviously, some are gonna make it in, some are mainstays that you're gonna have to have, but I think there will be a bunch of them that are gonna be new. Now, obviously, you know, we've got to put more resources into doing those kind of characters, so that, you know, we'll have to figure the logistics out, but I think it, oh geez, you can, don't do it close. Jeez, you can get the crouching in there. This is, yeah, actually, you know, let me show you. Again, no character confirmations, and I'm still trying to make up in my mind who's going to be next after the first set, but, like, we already have some that people have done, and they've offered them up that if I want to use them, we can. so here's K's sheet. K-Dash? I love K-Dash. K-Dash is cool. I think he's got a pretty good chance of making the second wave. Well, look at this. This looks good. It looks so good you can't tell it's not official. So I feel like we'd be squandering some opportunity here to get some new characters in if we just focused only on what was in there. So look at that. That looks good. I did the coloring. This is Anim Pockets K. I did the coloring a long time ago. But he's a real candidate. I would say has a realistic chance of getting in at some point. K's cool. Who doesn't like K? So look at that. Look, this looks so good. Look at. So we got options. You know, there's some characters that have already been done and by other people, not specifically for this game, but they've made them on their own in the past, and so I've been offered the permission to use them if I want to. He really can't. Wow, he really can't. Oh, I was gonna say, there's got to be a gap there somewhere. That thing's so slow. Oh, jeez, beat it out. Now, this isn't a kick with an anti-air box. That's an anti-air kick box. It's not like a crazy anti-air or anything, but it still works. How many characters, excuse me, how many characters do you think we're gonna get for the final version? That's hard to tell because they take so much work to do them. And who knows how long I'll have to work on this game in general. You know, it's going to come to an end at some point, right? You know, sad to say, but that's just the reality of it. All I can promise right now is 9 characters for the initial full release. And then when those are done, then I can think about putting in another wave of like 8 or 9 characters. And then we'll do that until either I get tired of it, or something happens where I can't continue working on it, or something like that. That's about all I can promise. I think that's a reasonable way to approach it. Oh, poor Terry. Getting his leg broke by a Shoryuken. Yeah, Ken's got a pretty comparable kick with his crazy kick, right? It hits around the same range, although it's an anti-air. Slight anti-air. It's not too great, but at a distance it'll work. So you can kind of compare their pushback and stuff is about the same actually. So my head's in the same spot when I'm looking at these two kicks, I guess. Of course, Ken's has the extra hit if you're close. Terry's is just a single hit. But from far away, yeah. I think this works. I think this is a reasonable safety level. Because when it's like super far, you don't want pokes to be like super punishable, you know? Oh wow, that actually hits him. Yeah, so if you got super, you can do it. Okay, that works. I'm trying to do Shifu. It's not gonna be easy. And I want to get it at like the edge of. Oh, that whiff though. That he didn't block that whiff. Yeah, that's gonna hit. I think that's reasonably punishable. And of course you've got alpha counters. This actually makes it interesting because some alpha counters don't have super range on them. Oh man, it still catches them though. Let's switch to Ryu. Yeah, we'll full screen. Yeah, because he's got this, right? Oh, let's make him gargle. Oh, wow! He actually can't punish it with that. That's funny. Donkey kick 2 OP? It's the light one, so... Okay, yeah, he's got more than enough range to alpha counter. Oh, wow, that's really far away. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got the ability to alpha counter that. I'm assuming that he'll be able to... Yeah, he'll be able to do Shoryuken 1 too. I've been considering reducing the range on that one. Like just a little bit. It seems a little bit too useful in general. Where like the long range one, I want to be this one, right? I don't know, I guess he's close enough though. The idea here between the two was that this one would get them off of you more. That was more like, I'm in the corner, and I need you to go away. See how far it pushes them? Especially if they back roll out of it. Where the Shoryuken, you can't get out of the corner, like, you see, if he back rolls, you're not going to be able to escape, and you're probably going to get hit. Kind of have two ways out of it. I mean, you can attempt to jump, but he might have enough advantage to hit you out of it. At least that's the way it's supposed to be. I won't know until I do more vigorous testing. But you see, he wasn't even able to get out of the corner. But here, man, I guess I didn't push him very far either. Depends on how far close they are to you. The idea here is that you have enough advantage, especially if they back roll. Oops, oh, I can do it. To have like, kind of like push them out of the corner and get you out. At least that's the idea. Maybe in practice it doesn't work quite as well, but I can always adjust it, right? Oh, did he actually punish that? That's funny. He actually punished that. Let's see. Nah, he won't get that one. I probably should increase the advantage on EX Hadouken in Power Max. This doesn't push back as much as this, but certainly doesn't have the advantage. Or rather, the non-Power Max EX doesn't push back as much, but it's got the frame advantage. It should probably push back more in general. Eh, maybe not. Looks about right. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. It looks cool. It just looks neat. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, you can always watch the replay, but it is cool to see it live, right? Oh, jeez, yeah, okay. When Ryu's got Kakufu Batsu loaded, don't get anything blocked, because you could have a bad time. I'm trying to get the additional cancel on there. There we go. I missed it. Tried to get another one loaded. It's looking good though. I think it's looking good. It's got a decent amount of advantage. Maybe it's a little too potent. I don't know. It doesn't have very much priority at the end of it though. So that kind of balances out. There's 101 things you can do to balance a move. Between the damage it does, the pushback that it does, you know, which counts towards its safety. You know, how big the hurt box extends out also changes what can and can't punish it. You know, just the raw frame data. You know, what's the priority at the end of the move? You know, does it have a big hurt box? Is it good against anti-airs? You know, developing the hitbox in that way. And with all that combined, you can come up with some good balance for your game. But you have to be kind of aware of what all those things do. The different criteria of what that means. So when you see a hitbox that looks like this, you have to be kind of aware of why is it thin, why is it that high, you know, why is this up past the red, why is the green past the red, just so that it's not a good anti-air like we went over before. You can certainly hit somebody jumping in, but if they're coming in with an attack, most likely you're going to trade, or you're going to get hit out of yours. Because the hurt box extends higher than the hitbox. You compare that to Ryu's. Oh. There. Compare that to Ryu's. This extends way above the. Oh, actually, I did forget something. Oh, I didn't mean to turn it all the way off. Terry's got a big flaw with his. Actually, I'll show it to you here. Terry's got a big flaw with his move right now. Well, let's get a ridiculous range here going. No? Oh, you know why? Because the hurt box doesn't extend out until the kick is actually out. So it's just trading with the grab. And the grab loses if it hits. But notice here, these are the same green shade, if you can tell, as the body. That means you could actually grab these hitboxes. They're grabbable, but we don't want that to happen, right? We want... here. Anything that's not the typical... Hey, Oaks, what's up? Anything that's not like the typical body itself, we want that to not be grabbable. See how it says grab here? We have to take all that off. So the way we do that is we say cannot be grabbed. Can be hit, but can be hit by projectile. Can't be grabbed. And then you'll see the color will change on them. I haven't done a move in so long that I've almost forgot about that. So if we look at it now, it should be anything except the main body. The main body is kind of like a solid green. But here, oh no, we're gonna have to change that one. That one should be normal. Let's see. Pre-kick body? Yeah, we need that to be grabbed. That one needs to be grabbed. Okay, and we should see the color change. Yep, it changed back. Okay, here. Okay. These two should be the ungrabbables. You notice how they're slightly paler green, but the body can't be. So, kick body, that can be grabbed. Okay, right? Yep, there you go. And then you see this is the deeper green now, and this is the lighter green. So lighter green are things that can't be grabbed. Again, same thing there. Yep, and then this is the normal green because it can be grabbed again. Yeah, that makes it a little easier. In this case, it wouldn't have mattered too much because if you actually even successfully grabbed the leg, it would trade with the hit itself. But you gotta watch out for that in general. Because if someone throws their arm out and you can just grab them from like this range, it would be really funny, right? Just kind of like grab their startup fist. It's probably more for like the leg, just the legs stick out more. It's just the extensions of the body. I mean, you could certainly make them grabbable, but I don't think that would be fun. I think it would make the game really frustrating. Oh. There. So now only the body itself will be grabbable. Oh, that was actually a little difficult to get in there. We did this one. Oh, he's still too far away. There we go. I got him. It's so nice that the game runs better now in Editor. You can see all the flashes and everything now for the most part. So much smoother. It was getting really choppy there for a while. I'm glad I took the time to optimize that. I made some other optimizations that'll help, you know, actually playing the release version too, but the substantial ones were definitely the editor one. I mean, we literally went from like 30 FPS to 60. It probably wasn't that bad. It was probably hovering around like high 30s, low 40s for a while there. It's been like that for months, but now we're back in action. It'll make the streams a little more pleasant, I think. But you guys would have never noticed when the released one came out, because it doesn't have all the editor features. What about the speed of the kick in terms of like it whiffing? I think it looks alright. Part of me wonders if maybe it should be a little faster. It was pretty fast though. I think it's pretty good. I almost wonder if it should have one more frame of hit stop when it comes into contact. Let's make it a little chunkier. Let's do that. It uses the move class default, and the move class is normal heavy, which has a default of 11. So let's try 12. Part of the reason that you can get away with a little more hit stop on a hit like this, yeah, that actually, yeah, boom, is because not only is it a heavy looking move, like even more than normal heavy, like it looks less than this, or it looks heavier than this. He's really he's swinging for the fences with his foot there. The fact that this also doesn't cancel into anything and keep that feeling up. So when it's got to be kind of a big moment hit when it hits, right? Like you're poking them and you want to know that thing hit, because it's not going to combo into anything. Like of course you can, do something like that, whatever. You can max cancel anything, but the fact that under normal circumstances that it's going to be the only thing that hits at the end. You can add a little more chunk than otherwise would be, because you're not going to disturb the pace of a combo. It's the end of the combo, unless you, of course, max cancel it. But then you've got the whole max activation animation to cover that cost of additional chunk. I think of where you could use it to set up kind of a poke, a safe poke. Maybe that. Nope, not even that. Oh! Yeah! I'm sure it's punishable. Or if they know it's coming, they can blow it up, but that works. Yeah, that's kind of cool. If they hit though, at the very tip, it won't get them. Has very little pushback, but that's because it's safe, especially at range. Yeah, you would never do that. You would want to cancel that into something. And in that case, he's just completely gone. Yeah, you're not going to use it after anything like that, because it's going to end your combo anyway, right? You do that, you're going to want to... You want to do something like that. Or that. I think it fits in. It's not the most exciting tool for carrying. If it was, it would be a little broken. I like that it helps keep pace with where the character goes, though. He steps in so much. You just kind of keep doing it if you want. I mean, obviously he can hit you out of it if you want, if he's gonna. But the fact that it kind of like keeps Terry, it keeps him moving to the corner, right? I almost wonder if the hit pushback should be a little higher, so that's not possible. Or it's a little harder. I could also make it less advantage. Like right now it's +5, I think. But I like the normals having big advantage like that. Because they push you backwards, right? Yeah. Okay. I think its functionality is pretty good. It's going to obviously take more testing to figure out what exactly its strengths and weaknesses might be in certain situations. But I think that works out okay. So I'm going to cap off tonight by adding a little more flair. And by that, I mean we need to get the whiffing sounds in there. So let's see. Play character attack whiff. That's a kind of when he's kicking, you'll hear it here. Here. Woo. 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 Then we want we're gonna have to look at the other one for this. We want the voice sample. So heavy kick had a sample attack 4. Okay. Standing heavy kick. Play character voice clips sometimes. It's actually just a 50-50 chance that it happens. And yep, you hear him. Yeah. It's a little soft, so it might be a little harder to hear. Yeah, you hear him. Yeah. There we go. Oh. Harry's fun. He really is fun. I think it really helps. Just kind of, even just in the looks department. Because truth be told, the functionality of the other kick was actually somewhat superior. But, this one just looks cooler. Well, some of the functionality of the other kick were superior. The fact that it would hit crouching opponents at any range, specifically. But I think it's not, I'm not too worried about it. I think the visuals in this case went over. It just looks way cooler. Also has better advantage and stuff too, so I did buff it in some ways that the other one isn't. Yeah, welcome to the corner. What's the damage rating on this thing? 70? 65? 65? 80? I'm assuming that 70 is probably typical for big damaging, like straight heavy. Like a 2-hit heavy is a little different. Typically the weaker heavy is the 65. And the, yeah, see this one's 70, the jump. That one's 72, because it's a neutral. That looked kind of cool, actually. Oh. Useless, but it looked cool. No, I didn't let go of forward in time. Yeah, since he actually comes forward to attack, that actually kind of works. You can just kind of throw it out there to catch something coming in. Yeah, that was a good song. Or are you talking about the last song? Nope, that's fine. Yeah, this song's good. This one's from 13. Yeah, 13 had really good music. I didn't like the sprites all that much. I thought, like, some of them looked really good and some of them looked really weird. There's our new clash effect. And I wasn't too big a fan of the gameplay. But I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of the music. That's for sure. Yeah. I think this will be useful. Especially if you're out here. Because it pushes them back pretty far, right? So... Oh, I messed up. It's a little hard with the controller. For me, at least. I'm just not used to it. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, I was almost there. I like it. I like it. Hey, 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 G-Man, what's up? Pretty much done for today, but we put Terry's kick in. Meant to be a long-range poke. It's got reasonable safety at max range, but it's not insanely safe. There are certain situations where that could still get you bopped. But other than that, I think it works out pretty good. We're gonna start with 9 characters, and if we do more than that, we'll figure that out at the end of the first 9. Yeah, alright, it's looking good. Yeah. With 9 characters, net play, rollback netcode, and arcade mode, I think that's a good amount of work to begin with. You can always add Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. Yeah, right. Eventually, maybe a character like that might make it in if I continue to do character packs, right? But I would like to add in, because there's so many characters to add. Like, if we were to add Evil Ryu, but then, like, I don't know, not add, like, Bison or something, people would be like, really? You put Evil Ryu in before Bison? Like, what? So if those types of characters, yeah, like Orochiori, like, if those characters make it in, I would say that they would be far off. I would want to focus on getting as many diverse characters in first. But yeah, so we've got what? We got Orochi Leona, we've got Orochi Iori. Now you do have the Orochi versions of the Orochi candidates. I guess that counts. But then you'd have to put them in to begin with? I don't know. Like Chris and Sherman and stuff, right? Who else? No one else has an Orochi form though, right? Is that it? What's the conditions in the lore to have an Orochi takeover? Is it a bloodline thing only, or can you do other stuff? I might, if at some point we get a lot of Street Fighter and King of Fighters characters, I might consider expanding the definition of what I'd allow into the game. But that won't happen for a long time, so I feel like, I don't know, somewhat useless to discuss that at this point. I think other games that have characters and worlds that are comparable to Street Fighter and King of Fighters would be like Tekken or Fighting EX Layer. I think that those have abilities, characters, and stories and you know, like worlds that are very comparable. They're all kind of like in that sort of realm. And I think that's why Street Fighter Cross Tekken really, you know, maybe not from a gameplay or monetization standpoint, was exactly what everybody wanted. But I think those two worlds work very well together. And since King of Fighters is practically a Street Fighter kind of story, I think all of those would work together good. But you know, I wouldn't consider those for a while yet. Just because there's so many King of Fighters and Street Fighter characters out there, I couldn't even possibly add them all, you know? So I've got to be a little picky about what I do with that. I'm trying to think, like, who else could Orochi possess? Other than Iori, Leona, and the 3 Orochi candidates. Is it possible for Orochi to possess almost anybody? Or is there certain criteria? Because I thought, like, Iori's bloodline made him susceptible to that, right? Like, there was something special about that. Because I think that's the case for Leona, too. She's got some kind of Orochi blood thing going on. But I don't know the specifics. But it makes you wonder, like, you know, is it something that anybody could technically get possessed by? Because then that opens up anything. Like, okay, I mean, to be real, Orochi Terry would be really silly and dumb. But, you know, what if you did an Orochi Kyo? Or something like that, you know? Yeah, Orochi possesses Chris. He's one of the candidates that have the Orochi power, but I don't know. Alright, you know what? Here, we'll go out on this. Fighter's Generation might be able to tell us. Fighter's Generation Chris. Chris, King of Fighters. Okay. Originally from Sweden. Sweden! Chris is the youngest member of the New Face team who entered in 98. Chris, Shermie, and Yashiro are in a band called CYS based on their first initials, where Chris plays the drums. They initially joined the tournament to settle the score with Iori Yagami, leader of the rival band. Oh wow, so that was their cover story for getting in, huh? At the beginning of the KOF 97, the three members of CYS were unaware that they were actually... Well, they were unaware? At the beginning of 97, CYS were unaware that they actually had Orochi heritage. Now, when they say heritage, that's a blood-related thing, right? So, maybe that might be the thing. As the tournament progressed, the Orochi blood within Chris, Shermie, and Yashiro awakened, and they regained their memories of being three of the four Heavenly Kings. This is suddenly a really dumb story. I thought they were raised by Goynitz. I sound similar to Donkey. I don't even know who Donkey is. Wait, who is Donkey? Who's Donkey? Wait, is he that guy with the horse avatar? I don't think I've ever seen anything about him. He has like a horse character as his avatar, right? And I'm thinking about it. Video game Donkey. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch him. I don't know. Look, I'm an uncultured semi-boomer. I don't know. But the only people that I watch Maximilian Dude. I watch Jim Sterling. I watch Yongya, Rich from Review Tech. I don't watch very many gaming things, do I? I probably should. No, I watch Did You Know Gaming. I'm trying to remember what I look up. Man, what do I watch on YouTube? Like, I watch a lot of like KOF and Street Fighter gameplay. Oh, what's his name? I don't remember. He's not been making videos very recently. Like was it Yang-Hu BBB? Yeah, Max, right? Yeah, Max. But there's that Yang-Hu BBB guy. I think he's German. Because every time I see his gameplay, it's in German. Like, that's good. Holy crap, who do I watch? I'm having a brain fart. I watch stuff all day long. Well, I sub to like a couple cooking channel things. And like I do the Did You Know Gaming and the Did You Know Gaming Extra. I am subbed to Game Theory, but I don't watch most of the videos. I like the Science of videos. I like that guy. Austin, who's on the Game Theory channel. He's funny, but I don't know. I used to watch the Matt Pet videos, but he's not doing anything that's interesting to me anymore. So I stay on there for the Science of guy. Hold on, let me look. What do I watch? Obviously, yeah, Vesper Arcade is on there. You can never think of these things. I watch these things all day long, and I don't think of what they are. Just consume, don't think, or remember? Yeah, pretty much. Geekdom 101. I like Dragon Ball stuff. So I was subbed to him. And nothing really new is happening right now for Dragon Ball, so... Not the game necessarily, but the franchise in total. So I haven't watched a lot of his stuff lately. There just hasn't been anything too interesting. We'll see what else. Oh yeah, that Legend of Renegade guy, he makes those retro remixes of songs. So he'll be like, oh, what if Mega Man X was on the Sega Genesis, and then he'd do a Sega Genesis remix. That's good. Game Hut. Okay, this one guy, he used to program for Sega, and he runs Game Hut, and he like breaks down the code of like old games. It's not incredibly useful. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm a stupid nerdy programmer, so I like that kind of shit. Let's see what else. Oh Jesus, Justin Wong, of course. I'm subbed to Justin Wong. I watch those. I like his videos. They're actually really good. He's really entertaining. I would say would be my single favorite FGC player. You know, like I like Daigo and all that stuff, but I think Justin stands out. Something about him stands out for me. Let's see, who else? Oh, I'm subbed to Death Battle. I don't like all their episodes, but sometimes they're fun to watch, especially just in the background. Some music people. Oh, geez, Game Maker's Toolkit is super good. Game Maker's Toolkit. He makes like one video a month, but it's a banger. Every time he does one, it's a banger. Like he'll go into like the mechanics of a game, or you know, just kind of like game design stuff. But he really looks into it, and he really thinks a lot about it. And he'll go over like recent games too, like not just old stuff. He'll really dig deep on a topic. He's got great shit. So go watch that. I like little gadget things. Yeah, Game Maker's Toolkit is incapable of making a bad video. Yeah, for real, right? Every one of them is great. I like little gadget things, and I always think about like, hey, maybe I should get a Raspberry Pi and mess with it, stuff like that. But I never actually end up doing that. I just kind of dream about it, and I never end up doing it. But ETA Prime is a good channel. He does like all those little RetroPie handheld things and things like that. Hey, I'm getting there. I'm just looking at my feed. You're right. I do sub to Summoning Salt. You're right. But I'm looking through my feed. I'm just playing it by ear. Yeah, Summoning Salt's great. He makes like one video every 2 months, but every time it comes out, it's a banger. It's another one. Oh yeah, Modern Vintage Gamer. He goes over a lot of like the technical side of stuff. He did like a breakdown of how the Game Boy works, which was really cool, and like console mods and stuff. Yeah, that's most of it. Oh, Brothers Nylon is really good. It's a music channel. It's all like chill and funky stuff. Let's see. Oh, Infectious, the FGC player, Infectious. I subbed to him a while back. He's got great videos. Oh, and speaking of that, High Fight's got great videos too, and they're pretty much the same stuff, like tips on how to play fighting games and what to think about when you're in the match and how to defend against certain stuff. Where I guess they're both pretty Street Fighter V focused, but they do talk about things that are general concepts that can travel between games. Oh Jesus, how could I forget this? Matt McMuscles and What Happened? What Happened? That's a fun one. He digs into the development of typically troubled games and figures out essentially, well, what happened? Like, why did it blow up? And along those lines, AVGN, I do watch those. I think Amber's subbed to AVGN and I'm not. But whenever it comes out, like, we watch them together. So I don't have to be subbed to him because every time one comes out, we just watch it. So she'll put it on. And Vesper Arcade, of course, falls into that, you know, how to play kind of category for Street Fighter V. Let's see. Oh, Brew! Brew's good. I found him only recently. It's like little science videos. It's like little, I guess, how do I want to put this? There's no nice way to say this. It's just, they're normie consumable science videos. It's not that their content is dumbed down, but they're presented in a way that almost anybody would be interested in watching them. And that's not to say that I don't like hardcore science videos, because I absolutely do. But I find their delivery is entertaining and fun, and so just about anybody can do that. And that's Brew. as in, because the whole thing is about coffee. The character likes coffee, and so brewing coffee, his name's Brew. It's funny. I like it. Who else I got? Oh yeah, Game Metal, Gum Metal, Game Metal. He's a music channel, really good. Oh, extra credits. They put out like one good video every 6 months. They used to put out bangers all the time, but they've gone way downhill. I'm still subbed for them because on the off chance that they upload something interesting, I'll look at it. But most of the stuff they put up, it's just not very good anymore. I don't usually bother. Oh, Jason... I'm going to mispronounce this. Nope, don't start the video. Damn it, copy his name, but stop starting the video here. I'll put this in chat, hold on. This guy, Jason Jason Wayman? He's a Unity developer, and he's got some great stuff. Yeah, they kind of had a misstep with that one, right? Yeah. Brew is way past liking coffee. He barely functions without it. I feel like that myself sometimes, right? But that Jason Wyman, he's really good. He's a Unity developer, and he does like development streams, but he does a lot of like topical videos on like not only like a lot of it's starter stuff. So I don't watch most of the videos necessarily because a lot of it's like starter material. So I can skip a lot of that, but sometimes he'll have, even on a topic that I know some about, he'll usually have some kind of insider take that I didn't consider. So I do end up watching a lot of those. And he can go pretty in depth with some of this stuff. I might be hitting the end here. Wait, oh, I scrolled back up by accident. Let's see. Yeah, we already, Matt McMuffles we already got. Oh, Displaced Gamers. He does a lot of retro stuff. He's like found ways to like, because you can check the memory of running games and stuff, and he can find like new things to do. He makes new breakdowns of like how does Legend of Zelda's item system work, and then he'll just go through it. It's not necessarily stuff that's too useful today because it's about all old games, but it's interesting, I think. There was another one here, and I don't remember what this guy's name is. He makes like one video every 2 months or whatever. He bought a broken Wii and then restored it back to functionality. Like, he does videos like that. I forget what his name was, though. No, it's killing me. I feel bad about it now, but I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, obviously, Little V Mills. A sub to that. He makes great music. Let's see. What's... Oh, Thoughty2. Is it Odd Tinkering? I don't think so. It's hard to tell, like, obviously they give you, like, a list of who you follow, right? But it's hard to tell, like, who's who here. A lot of these songs, a lot of these channels have, like, gone to the wayside, too. Was it Bubbly? Does the NES music. Yeah, Bubbly does NES remixes. Oh, geez, Core Gaming. They haven't put out a video in forever. Core Gaming, but they make great FGC/fighting game videos. Never heard of Average Pixels, or maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see. I'll look it up. Nope, not him. But I guess I'll look at what he does. Wait, he's only got one video? Average Pixel only has one video. It's a 16-minute video, satisfying reloads, the art of reload animation. Oh well, screw it. I'll put it on my watch later, I'll take a look at it. Would he nuke his channel or something? Oh wait, there's another one. There's Average Pixels. No, and they've got, like, no videos too. I don't know. That's it? He made one masterpiece video? I have to look at that, alright. And he dropped it a year ago and just left. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Technology Connections. He's just this kind of slightly chubby nerd who talks about, like, air conditioners and how they work. And I find it cathartic, so I keep it. He's a very enjoyable person. Talks about light bulbs, ACs, refrigerators, you know, that kind of stuff. Like just everyday items. Talk about coffee percolators at one episode. He's got good stuff. I like it. He's got actually a really great series on how the old CRT TVs work, and I think that's where I found them. I found that video. He's got a whole thing on that. Technology Connections. Oh, and I don't watch this guy as much anymore, but this does not compute. Yeah, the toaster video, right? Yeah. Yeah, from Technology Connections. Yeah, that was good. The This Does Not Compute, he used to upload a lot more, and he showed, like, putting a backlight mod in a Neo Geo Pocket Color, and, like, Game Boy mods and stuff, and he hasn't done that in a long time now, so I don't really watch what comes through his channel, and he doesn't upload, like, nearly as much as he used to. I don't know what happened, but I was there pretty much for the video game stuff, and you know, some of the tangential things with that. But he hasn't done that, so I'm not watching very much anymore. Studio Megane. He's a Japanese guy who does, like, NES remixes of, like, anime songs. That's pretty good. Here, I'll get, he did the new Attack on Titan intro. That's cool. I'll have to watch that. Let me set my watch later. I'll paste it. It's an odd spelling. I'll paste it in chat. Here. That's a good one. If you like anime stuff. I don't know, that's pretty much it. I watch a little bit of Button Check. That's an FGC kind of podcast thing. Savaged Regiment? What's that? This is why I don't show this window while I'm doing this, but who knows what's gonna pop up. Savage Regiment, what's he got? Oh, okay. He does okay, looks like he does songs. Like remixes. Okay, alright, you know what? Alright, we'll bite. Hold on. We'll bite. Here. Let's see. It's a Genesis version of Mega Man 02 Ice Brain. Good so far. I like it. I like it. Alright, he into subscribe. How about that? You're into subscribe. What else you got? I like it. It's smooth. see, so he does Genesis, like if they were on Genesis, he puts them on Master System. That's pretty cool. Wait, did he make the music for Xeno Crisis? Or is he just covering it? That's cool if he did it. Certainly knows his stuff. Oh, okay. Here. Here's a more FGC one. Centric one. X-Men Children of the Atom Cyclops. Hey! It's good too. Look at that logo. I like it. I like it. Okay, there's a lot to go through here. I'll go through that later. That's cool. Thanks for the suggestion. That's good stuff. Alright, that's pretty much all I follow. I'm just scrolling through my subscription feed because like a lot of people that I follow don't upload anything anymore. So like I could list off like the 100 some that are there, but like most of them aren't even there anymore. Oh, Gaming Historian, there's another one. He only uploads like once a month. He's really good. Here's one that only uploads very periodically. Hold Back to Block. And they're all fighting game documentaries. So there it goes. Oh yeah. This guy only uploads like every 6 months, but every time he does it's a hella banger. Let me know. I'll copy it in the chat. They're basically, he does mystery videos at this point. It's like, hey, there was an airplane and it disappeared and nobody knows where it is, and like there was a guy on it who stole like $1 million and now he's missing. You know, that kind of like mystery video, and they're trying to figure out what might have actually happened. He does some like UFO stuff too. It's good stuff. Stray Fox Splash Wave is an awesome docu-series type thing on game. Alright, let me take a look at that. Splash Wave. Okay. The Making of Super Castlevania 4. Okay, I'm gonna put that on my watch later, and if I like it, we're gonna sub there too. Alright. Making a Sonic the Hedgehog, making a Secret of Mana. Okay. Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Okay, alright. I'm pretty sure this channel's gonna keep me busy. If I like them, I'm gonna be binging this. Cool, thanks for that suggestion. That's good. Let's see, that song's almost over. Well, we'll go back to the normal playlist here. It's good stuff. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Maxi Demand. I got him, of course, on here. He does music for Pocket Fighter EX. He uploads periodically, so there was nothing recently in my feed. To Metal Tool does Mega Man remixes. It's a play on Met Tool, the little helmet guys in Mega Man. Metal Tool. He's really good. Really good Mega Man remixes. Oh, Mr. Morge. I'm a One Piece fan, and Mr. Morge talks about One Piece and like narrative design and storytelling stuff. So that one I would recommend if you like One Piece. Really good. Like, he's manga current, so if you're just watching the anime, maybe don't want to go there, you're gonna get spoiled. But if you're up to date with the manga, he goes into super in depth, like about the concepts of things and what's going on in the story. And he makes predictions on what's going to happen, and it's really entertaining. I like that. Let's see. Who else? Who would have thought this turned into a YouTube subscription stream? Oh, Red Letter Media. Of course, Red Letter Media. They put things out periodically. Retro Gaming Mechanics Explained. Yeah, they're one that they only upload like once a month, but they have really good stuff when they do. Again, it's one of those, it's all outdated stuff, but it's kind of interesting if you like retro games to see how they were made. Oh, SNES Drunk. SNES Drunk. He's got a good channel. He reviews, well, SNES games, but he also does Genesis and other stuff, the retro things. But a lot of it's like ones that you might not have heard from or heard about, or like ones that never came here to America. If you're in America. Or, more accurately, ones that haven't left Japan. We'll put it that way. Because who knows where you guys are from. You're probably from all over the world. Stone McNuckle. He does Mega Man remixes. Oh yeah, Some Call Me Johnny. I like his videos. Which he pretty much just tells you everything about a game. And 90% of it are games you already played. But somehow, just the way that he tells his experience with the game is just, I don't know, I like it. It's cathartic. I have it on in the background. Oh, Stop Skeletons from Fighting. Jeez, how could I forget them? Like, they got really good, like, a video on the N64 mouse that was meant for Mario Paint 64, you know, and, like, seeing if it works with other games and messing around with it and getting your hands on one. Like, he does that kind of stuff. It's kind of like the goofy, unnecessary side of games. That's good. Oh, Stumblebee. He hasn't uploaded in forever, though. Okay, well, he uploaded this month, but he hasn't uploaded in 7 months prior to that, so... Stumblebee is like Corey Gaming. He does kind of like, I guess like theory videos about fighting games. And they're really good. Did you see the follow-up to the N64 mouse video? I think so. Let me see. Did I watch it? Let's see if I watched it. Yeah. Well, let's see. There's, so he did a dual analog controller for N64 games, talking about GoldenEye. Then he did the mouse, the N64 mouse games. Dual N64 mouse games. I think that's the second one. Yeah, okay. I think that's the second video. He had 2 N64 mics. And then his latest one's about video game keyboards. Yeah, so I think I've seen them all. They're really funny. I like him. He seems like a nice guy. Oh, Super Eye Patch Wolf. I like Super Eye Patch Wolf. He talks about, like, how stories and stuff are made. But he talks mostly about anime and manga, but he'll talk about, like, what makes them good and what makes them work. Or you could just watch his crazy Sonic video. The, what did they call it now? Like the strange, modern, bizarre reality of Sonic fandom or something. That was a great video. Oh, Super Soul Brothers. They got great music. Especially the Earthbound stuff. Let's see, the consoles, the same there. Oh yeah, 8-bit Big Band, also good. And Theory Fighter. I've subbed to him recently. He does periodic videos, maybe once a month or something. But he's kind of like the Corey Gaming Stumblebee, but for very specific things. Oh, Thomas Game Docs. He used to upload like every week, and now he hasn't uploaded like anything in a while. Yeah, Thomas Game Docs is funny. I don't know if he's somewhere from Europe, and he's just, I don't know, he's just kind of like that clean, pure European kid talking about games, and it's just kind of funny, just the way he delivers them. But he'll talk about things like, you know, quirky things about like the Nintendo games or whatever, or like sometimes like when there was a funny controversy about something. Or like when somebody in Europe stole a giant truck full of amiibos. You know, things like that. But he does cover a lot of like development stuff, like things that like the teams of Mario and Zelda have done. Let's see. Oh, Top Hat Gaming Man. Yeah, how did I forget him? He uploads pretty recently too. He talks about a lot like beat 'em up games and fighting games. Things like that, the history of them, you know, like the development. So when he does a video, he usually goes through the whole thing, the development. He goes through the reactions and reviews of the time of what people thought about them then, as opposed to now. It's actually pretty interesting. I like it. Oh yeah, Totally Not Mark. Same thing. Anime, manga, story guy. Talks about Dragon Ball. He just did a One Piece. Like he just literally read all of One Piece this last year and did like his review on it, that kind of stuff. That's cool. Oh yeah, I just subbed to this recently. The guy who used to be on Extra Credits, Dan, when he quit and they got new Dan to fill his spot, well, old Dan went and made Video Game Animation Study. That's the name of his channel. And again, he uploads periodically because he's got big in-depth videos, right? But he just did, is he the one that did the Sonic video? Or no? Wait, or no, maybe, no, I'm sorry. Video Game Animation Study is different. I'm sorry, different one. This is a different guy, but it's still good. Same thing. It's about video game animation. Now, what's Old Dan's account now? What's Old Dan's account? Because he just did like an hour long, like a 50-minute Sonic the Hedgehog franchise breakdown on animation. And it sounds ridiculous, like why would you watch an hour-long Sonic animation thing? But it's really great. I ended up actually pulling it up one day, and it's really good. But no, Video Game Animation Study, that's a different guy, but it's still the same kind of material. I used to watch Vsauce, the one with the guy who's got glasses and a beard and he's bald, but then he like went to YouTube Prime or something, and I haven't watched him since. Like he's kind of come back and put out like 1 or 2 videos, but like it's nothing like his old stuff used to be. Chris? Oh, no, we were looking up his story for Chris. We're not adding Chris. Now, you want to hear that? Have you ever watched high level 98 gameplay? Everybody's playing Chris, and it's just yeah, the whole fucking match, because all they're doing is jump C or D all over the map, and he's got only one voice sample that they just keep using for everything. So no, we're not adding Chris. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Chris, so it's probably not likely, realistically. Maybe as a boss, maybe, you know, like if he turns into a Orochi, he's like a hidden boss, maybe? I don't know. Wizzy Whip It Wonderful was a good channel, too. I've only seen a couple of this guy's videos. Wrestling with Gaming. That's a good one on YouTube. And we're getting to the end here. There's really no other noteworthy ones except Yuri of Wind. And he doesn't upload anymore anyway. Does he? He did one 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago. 3 months ago. 4 months ago. I don't know. Yuri of Wind used to put out a lot of stuff. Now he just kind of cut down. I don't know. Maybe he's on Twitch all the time now. He takes extended breaks though. He's got a hard life. I'll put it that way. He makes videos, I think, to cope for the most part. That's just my guess. He kind of uses it as kind of like self-therapy. And he's got a lot of bad things going on, so he disappears sometimes for a while, and I can't blame him. I hope he feels better. And that's pretty much it. Everybody else I follow is either just cooking channels or they're so old that they don't upload anymore. Like, a good example is, I don't even know how to say his name. The French guy who does the speed, like the input delay. He made the Street Fighter V sim application, and he did like input delay testing and stuff. He had a channel, but he hasn't uploaded in years at this point. So like, I'm not gonna mention those ones because they don't do anything anymore. And like, obviously I follow the Street Fighter YouTube channel like whoop-de-doo. I'm sure everybody does. That's pretty much it. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh well, anyway. Okay. It's 11:30. Let's read the rest of this Chris bio and then we'll get out of here. We got completely sidetracked here. Yeah, so this is a really dumb story. I thought that they were in leagues with Goynitz the whole time, but apparently they didn't even remember that they were Orochi people. They were a rock band that came to get revenge on Iori, and then they just kind of remembered, oh, by the way, we're the end bosses. We just remembered now. Like, that's dumb. That's really stupid. That's not a good story at all. I'm sorry if anybody likes this. That is a really dumb story. All of a sudden, they remind, oh, we're part of the 4 Heavenly Kings. Whoever the 4th one is. Was Goynitz the 4th? I don't know. Through fighting, they finally gathered enough energy to revive Orochi. Chris was the chosen host for Orochi's wakened spirit. After regaining their Orochi memories, they kidnapped Kyo Kusanagi's girlfriend, Yuki, as a sacrifice for Orochi. Their goal was to regain Orochi's full power and trigger the riot of the blood within Iori and Leona. The new face team showed their true nature in the finals, but were defeated. Using their remaining energy, Yashiro and Shermie sacrificed themselves to reincarnate Orochi into Chris's body. In turn, Orochi is able to return to the world while using Chris's body as a host, but Orochi itself is resealed again by the 3 sacred treasures, Kyo, Iori, and Shizuru. Okay. Yeah, big brain story. Yeah, big brain. Big brain. Fucking galaxy brain. We're the 3 of the 4 Heavenly Kings, but we just somehow forgot who we are. We formed a rock band together and then went to go kick Iori's ass and then remembered that we were the bad guys. Yeah, that's fucking galaxy brain story right there. Okay. I don't know. Chris looks so, I don't know, weird to me. He's just like, he's like that trope of the, like, he's the little kid, except he's the final boss. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. I think some of his moves are kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Chris fan. And now reading this story, I'm less of a Chris fan. Holy crap. His whole, like, his entire role and personality is, I'm the host for Orochi, the end. And I make annoying sound effects. Like, that's it. That's all he has. He doesn't even have a cool backstory. He forgot he was part of the 4 Heavenly Kings and then just remembered he was part of the 4 Heavenly Kings. Coincidentally. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, curiosity sated. We're done. So, At least we got the kick. We got the kick in. Terry's got his kick, right? We got something good today. He's got the kick and the kick's cool. Can travel to the corner with it. It's nice, I like it. So, it was a fun one though. We got way sidetracked like 3-4 times today, but that's cool. So, alright, schedule. Thursday, Richer Mansion game. Not sure exactly what we're gonna work on. Maybe we'll refine that run animation. Maybe I'll have enough of the programming done to show something for that, but either way, we'll have something to work on. And then this past Sunday, I was stuck in meetings, so I didn't have stream, but I don't know. What would we play on Sunday? Did you just boot up Street Fighter V again, right? Yeah, you have a good week too, Oaks. I don't know, we'll play something on Sunday. And that's pretty much it, so thanks everybody for watching. Where is, here, I have my patron sheet. So my March, the beginning of March patrons here are Cameron Lyle, Variant X, Meg Kia, Awakened Temper, Angel Rory, Luis, Uncle Roy, Mike Cruz, Taryn Williams, Corporal Chungus, Bryce Nagalingam, AJ and Grave Spirit, Miles Griffin, Ben K, D-Money 107, and LD Walker. Thank you guys super extra very much. Help keeping the lights on and the electricity for the computer going so I can program and draw and do whatever else I do. I don't know, what do I even do? So thanks very much. You can get prototype builds of the projects that I work on, including this one, if you want to check out the development, you know, firsthand. And a couple other things on there. So check that out. That's patreon.com/GameDevScrubs. And we got a Discord, the link down below. I'll put it in chat. Yeah. Here, chat. Oh no. Oh, that's the wrong one. I gotta do exclamation point Patreon. I did slash. There it is. Exclamation point. Yeah, point Discord. There we go. Oh boy, come yell at me in the Discord channel throughout the week when I'm not on air. That's what I want. Just come bug the crap out of me. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'm on Twitter and stuff too. You can find links down below. I'm getting out of here. So see you guys later. Have a good one and scrub out.